Hey everybody, we're live.
Every time.
Wow.
Fucking every time.
Hello and welcome to Blackwater D&D, where we're
Hello.
building a better future for you.
Wow. Short Defner. Good intro.
Got a new mic.
That's a big
and I'm really feeling myself on it. It's feeling crisp.
I don't like how you said that.
Well, we can all.
Sean, that is a company asset, and we need to approve what you do.
And I would like to send out a big, very quiet thanks to everyone who's been supporting us along the way. We have a Ko-fi, and your generous donations go to things like this.
They do.
And this is where I'm going to be announcing that I'm quitting Blackwater.
Everyone's like,
done.
No more money to you guys.
No
We're not
more money,
giving you
Justin.
another penny.
No, none
Thank
at
you all
all.
for enabling us to lose our dead weight. We are a cleaner machine now, and we'll be delivering you better content more efficiently.
With better microphones.
Building a better future. BlackwaterDnD.
One roll
Call
at
me
a time.
dead weight.
Fucking just watch me yes and your joke. You want to make a joke that you're leaving Blackwater? I'll yes and that. I'm happy about it. It's a lie.
I just want to shout out. Thank you for the sub, Len Leno.
Len Leno.
Really love all your support.
We have been in the thick of pre-recording and doing a whole bunch of stuff for our stream drive, which I will talk about in a moment. So we've all been
right
on
now. Carpe diem. You know what? We're talking about it right now.
We're not in the
So
order.
if you're watching this,
we got a new mic. We're not bound.
What time is this going to air? This is going to be
live
Saturday
now,
night,
right now. Saturday.
We pre-recorded.
What's going on? So I will take that segue and jump into announcements. A big thank you to our sponsors, Legendcraft, a nerdy woodworking company from Calgary. We are also proud to be sponsored by Modern Arcana, makers of fine shirts, prints, and mugs adorned with 5e spells. Check them out, and if something tickles your fancy, enter the code Blackwater at checkout for a discount. Love as always to our dice goddess Keisha. You can find her at fairydragon_dice, and our campaign artist is the incomparable Tiana Kovacevic. You can find her at miss._marston on Instagram. All of our official art for this campaign and beyond is done by her. Neither of them have open commissions at the moment because they're both so busy and very talented. But if you want that, you should go message them and be like, hey, when are your commissions open? They're both very wonderful creators. And I don't know what is happening with
Are you just eating two different types of cake?
Yanis has his cake, and get this, he's eating it too.
No, he doesn't just have his cake. He has someone else's cake too. He has two slices up in this bitch.
He has cake. And he's eating too.
Yes. Speaking of art, it's not a segue, but it is. Speaking of art,
speaking of segues,
do you want to get some of our beautiful campaign art on merchandise? Because you can type !merch in the chat to find a link to our Redbubble store, where you can find 5 designs on a bunch of different things like shirts, hoodies, shower curtains, aprons, journals, dad hats. I'm working on jorts. I'm very much working on it. And the second we have jorts available, there will be Blackwater jorts coming your way.
I want them every session.
I know.
Let's get some Blackwater patches.
I get some embroidered,
because then you can just sew those onto jorts.
Yeah, we should absolutely do that. Oh, prizes for the stream drive. I will get on that. We are also at the end of our clip of the month contest. Tonight is our last night to send your clips to us over Discord or over Twitter or over Instagram. Send us your clips, and we will be picking one this month and sending it your way. And you're like, hey, Emma, where do I post them on Discord? Wow, type !Discord in the chat and you can come head on over. There is a gifts and clips section, as well as a bunch of other wonderful stuff in there. We have a really, really nice time just hanging out. And if this is the party, Discord is the after party. So please come hang out with us there. But while we're here on Twitch, come hang out with us here. Thank you to all of you who subscribe to us. If you have subscriptions to re-up, don't do it yet. Wait for our stream drive. But
dear. Unless you're Lan, again, thank you.
Oh no, I didn't. It was just my anniversary. My sub expires in 2 days.
Nice.
Don't re-up it then.
I'm gonna do it right now.
I haven't re-upped my subscription.
I gotta do it.
I'm saving it. Hold on to those.
We are having a stream drive on December 5th. It's a minimum of 48 hours. Every sub ups it for 5 minutes. Every $1 donated ups it for 1 minute, with a maximum of a week. Like a week, we'll go
Sunday to Saturday,
like noon on Sunday, December 5th to 7 p.m. Right before our next Blackwater session on the 11th, which is session 150 of this actual game, episode 75. So It's a big night for us. We are going to be premiering something very, very cool that night that we have been in the works for the last couple of weeks. So we're very, very excited. So please come hang out with our stream drive. We have so much content to bring to you.
I have about 35 hours of
So far.
video content in my computer that I have to sort through.
So good.
Yeah.
And there's going to be a lot of stuff.
There's going to be more. It's
going to be a delightfully good time. So we want to hang out with you. We really do. So please come hang out for our stream drive. We're also thankful for this wonderful, amazing community showing up week after week, telling your friends about the show, talking to your dads about the show, wearing your jorts to the show. It's a really, really good time, and we're very grateful. We are back to our main campaign, as you can see. If you are missing any of the content that we have done in the past, get yourself on over to YouTube, subscribe to us there. There's over 550 hours of Blackwater content that we have put out in the last year and a half.
Much content.
So much content, all meticulously organized for your viewing pleasure. All of this campaign, the Dresda Files, our summer campaign, all of our past shows, please head on over. There's a whole history and lore section. Please go.
Yes, cake menace.
Yeah, it was like a race. Who would finish first, the announcements or Giannis?
It wasn't even
munch?
watching.
I hope he gets more cake each week.
Absolutely.
To see how much cake he can eat before
his
the
new thing.
end.
His old thing was running marathons. His new thing is
racing
competitive cake eating
against the time of the announcements. Before I jump into our
Sorry, my
programming,
Zoom got stuck. Are we live?
Yeah. Before I jump into our programming this week, Lennon, are you up to anything on your channel this week?
Oh my
god. Probably. I have no big plans for this week. Probably some Dead by Daylight.
Amazing.
Some Animal Crossing.
Amazing. Please go hang out on Len's channel for some cozy Dead by Daylight and some cozy Animal Crossing. It is a delightful good time. It's Len Leno, one of our mods or longtime viewers. Will pop it up in the chat right now. Thank you. Adam is probably not doing anything on his channel this week because he's very busy doing a subathon.
9 more pre-records to film, so probably not.
Meow, meow, meow.
But I love you though. I love all of you. But
he will be back.
Probably not. I'll be back right after the subathon. I'm not going to stream for probably another 3 weeks, to be honest. And then once the subathon's done, I'll be around.
It'll be great. And our wonderful, amazing producer, Cody, has a channel as well. You can find him at twitch.tv/CodyVM for some chats. I jumped into a GeoGuessr stream with Cody and his wonderful chat a couple weeks ago, and it was a delightful good time. So please go hang out with these wonderful folks. As we've been talking about, it is 2 weeks from the stream drive. Holy bananas. Get your butts over here for that. And next week, we are back on Saturday with our beautiful main campaign. Same great time, same great channel. So whether you are new with us tonight or you have been with us for ages, thank you so much for your support. We love you immensely, and thank you for hanging at our table. We hope you feel very, very welcome here. Adam.
I will say next week is the last main campaign game. It's the day before the subathon.
Yes.
So it's not 2 weeks from now.
No, it's a week.
1 week.
Holy
1 week
bananas.
from now.
Holy
the
bananas.
subathon starts. 1 week.
1 week.
I have a headache and I don't know where my Tylenol is, so I can hear you. I'm just gonna go search my house for Tylenol.
Do it. We're here.
Sounds good.
We're here. We're gonna roll, but we're going to now. Cody, can you roll that clip? Cody.
Corey,
roll the intro
clip?
clip, not the break clip this time, please.
The clip, the good clip.
Ba-da-da-doom, ba-da-da-doom, yeah, yeah, yeah. When you're stuck in quarantine and there's nothing on TV, come on down, come and see BlackwaterDnD.
Hey, the energy tonight is
Cody gets so spicy. Cody gets
Oh,
so spicy.
It's like fire every time. He's playing with fire every time.
It didn't. It was so. I checked the Twitch. It didn't get in. It was.
Let's
close.
play some fucking Dungeons and Dragons. Tim, take it away.
All right. So let me scroll up in my document. For those of you just joining us tonight, Last week, Blackwater set out for the plane of air to seek an audience with the Titan Akadi, but not before Nepenthe was visited by the Kenku priestess Softly, who had been posing as a priestess of the Matron of Vengeance to try and discover as much information as possible. She let Nepi know the Matron was tracking her somehow. After Softly departed, the group went to the plane of air and started a ritual to take part in the trial of Akadi in hopes of being granted an audience. After navigating a spinning island and a vacuum tunnel, they arrived at a platform where they were greeted by a giant who served them tea, heralding the coming storm. In the eye of the storm, Akadi arrived, her massive form dwarfing the party. And that is where we pick up as you are all standing on this small platform as the massive, titanic head of Akadi is floating before you and its body swirling around this island. You all see the eyes kind of drop down upon all of you, and you hear in your heads telepathically, "What brings you here?"
I would kneel immediately. Just kneel and bow my head in deference.
Yeah, Letters gets involved in that action.
You sought an audience. Here I am.
Nepi would look up. Firstly, thank you for granting us that audience. We are most grateful and know that the weight that this carries, that you have granted us this space before you. We are Blackwater, and
I know who you are.
we need your help. I would then go on to summarize and explain the fact that the Matron of Vengeance is trying to burst her way through to the material plane. I would explain that what happened in Svelen and the task that Callista gave us. So we find ourselves here, seeking the aid of yourself, as well as your brothers and sisters.
You ask a great favor, but I believe it to be a noble one. I will do my part, but you must swear to me, should this plane ever be in jeopardy, you will come to their aid.
This plane of air?
Yes.
Oh, yeah. Okay, yeah.
Yes.
Very well. When the time is right, seek out my herald. He will be stationed at my temple where you first arrived.
The temple where the current High Priestess lives, or the gateway?
The temple with the High Priestess.
Thank you.
His name wouldn't happen to be Bruce, would it?
No.
Oh, that's a shame. I would really like that guy.
I think the Herald's the big giant with the T.
Yes.
Oh, yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, that makes a lot more sense than what I said. Yep.
I would look to Callie, considering she's the one that bears the mark.
Kind of looks at you. The eyes kind of shift. It is good to see you again.
It's good to see you again.
You have a great undertaking before you. Uniting the Titans is no small feat. and uniting them with the gods. Perhaps an impossible task. Have you spoken to the others yet?
No.
I should warn you. Yes,
We thought to come to you first.
I am honored. You will need to seek the other 4.
4.
Like
Yeah.
5 total?
Yes.
Your brethren in the jungle.
Yes. Ubtao resides on your plane.
Right.
I do not know where they are. They are beyond my sight.
Believe we might have someone who may know.
But when you have united all 5, you will need a dawn prism to focus our magic. And you will need to convince the gods to allow us to travel to the material plane. Only from there can we reinforce the barrier.
All right. A dawn prism and your presence on the material plane. And all of
Yes.
you together. Do you have... We plan to seek Grumbar next. And some of our party has ties to the Earth plane, as you know.
Yes.
Do you have any insight on ways that we could potentially convince Garrix and Istitia?
Garrix slumbers, and should you wake him, he will not rest again for 1,000 years. So I would advise you to seek the head, the golden head, and arouse that head first.
Is Garrix depicted as having multiple heads?
Yeah, 2 heads, a golden head and a red head. I do not know what would convince Istitia. There is no love lost for the gods or the material plane, or even the other titans.
She is doomed to the depths of her water plane, from what I have read.
Perhaps the promise of freedom may be enough, but I do not know. And as for my brother, I believe he will come to your side, but you must find him first.
We have a good place potentially to start. He has been returned from his wanderings, released from his exile.
Yes, I know. I was there.
We are most gracious for your agreement and your insight.
I wish you all the luck in your journey. I do not wish to see the material plane destroyed.
Neither do we. I bow my head in deference.
We'll find Harold at the temple. He seems like a really good guy.
Yes.
I didn't know.
He makes very good tea.
Is there maybe something you could give us, or a token or something, just for when we meet the others, as a sort of sign of proof that we've talked to you and you've agreed? I mean, if you show up and you say, oh yeah, Akadi said she's game, they might not believe us.
One who walks among you bears my mark already. That should be proof enough.
All right. Thank you.
Farewell.
Farewell.
You watch as the storm kind of roils around you, as the eye starts to shift and move, and the head disappears into the clouds, and the storm once again sweeps across the island and then disappears into the distance.
I was supposed to ask for something to take back. Never mind. Yeah, I said I would get something. Maybe there's like a gift shop or...
Did they leave? Did the
As you say that, the tail end of the storm you watch kind of flicks out, and a feather kind of drops to the ground. You see a fairly large, beautiful, kind of white, goldish feather.
It's really too bad.
Oh, look at this, a feather. Oh, Akadi gave me a feather. That's awesome. No, I'm just kidding here. Here you go, Kale. I saw this dropped out of the storm.
Tuck that away.
Yeah, it sticks out of your breast pocket this high.
I wonder if we are on. I'm assuming we are in the plane of air.
Oh yeah.
So we
I
could
would, yeah, hazard a guess.
teleport, technically, back to the temple rather than have to plane shift.
Do we want to plane shift to the plane of Earth?
Yeah, I feel like that's the move.
All right.
What do we need at the temple?
Oh, I gotta drop the feather off.
We'll get there eventually. Look, when we meet up with Harold, then you can drop off the feather.
Who was the feather for again? Sorry.
Chi.
Ah, right. Yeah.
Did you want to put it in a bag, Kale, to keep it safe?
Yeah, sure. I'll put it in the bag.
We'll pop it into the bag of holding. I hold the feather of a god. Casually, amongst all the other things in here.
A titan.
A titan. Yeah.
Not quite a
Tim.
god.
Remind me, last time we were at the Scar, wasn't Grumbar just sleeping at the bottom of it?
That was what they believed. That's
okay.
like after everything that happened and the Petch were liberated and the city was kind of scoured of the desert giants and the Dao, Grumbar climbed back down the chasm in the center that kind of gives the city its name.
Cool. Okay, yeah, I think we just we pop over back home to the Scar, and last I heard he's at the bottom. So we just kind of...
When we were in the plane of Earth the first time, they mentioned that someone who could be very helpful was the seer. I'm not sure if that person is still there anymore. A giant.
You see, Clack is like, that's the Dreamwalker.
Yes.
Yeah, he is very at the bottom of the chasm is where the heartstones are. It's where the Petch go to carve new Petch.
Is that where the seer lives?
No, he lives at the top, and he lets, when you go and you decide that you want to carve a new Petch, you go and you seek his blessing, and he opens up the way.
Can Petch carve new Petch on the material plane, or do they have to go back to the Scar?
I mean, I don't know if a Petch has ever tried to do it on the material plane, but
Right.
we do it at the Heartstone, so I assume. I mean, you could try it on the material plane.
Right. Shall we then? I guess.
Yes. The talisman is ready to go. So I put my hands out,
Okay.
and we shift to the Earth plane.
Boom.
Getting
So you
it
feel your
going
kind of pit of
home.
your stomach drop, a familiar feeling at this point as you arrive at the scar. And you see it's kind of bustling with a number of stone giants kind of moving about and Petch going about their day. You're kind of right at the edge of the city near the market. And it is, as last time you saw, that like the city had taken on kind of a new face. And that has even grown since the last time you've been here, as it's been, almost a year or just over a year. And you can see that it's really thriving. There seems to be a real community between the Petch and the stone giants that now reside here. And you see there are a few desert giants still that live and work here, and the kind of sentiments around ownership and slavery have drastically changed. It's like that there's sort of no whiff of that anymore. You don't see any Tao. It's also taken on quite a bit more beauty in the carving of the city, and a number of buildings have kind of been reclaimed and carved to look much more ornate than they were functional before. It's quite exquisite. You can now see the kind of craftsmanship of both the giants and the Petch really start to come through in this city. As you see the kind of at the top, as you've seen before, the giant statue of Grumbar that kind of greets you as you enter.
No place like home.
Oh,
I just want to start high-fiving people on the street. You're like, oh, what's up? Who's dry and dusty? What's good?
Hey.
What's good? Hey.
Oh, it's so dry. Man,
It's
I miss
nice,
that dry.
Oh my God.
Woo.
You're never truly dry on the material plane.
No way.
You know what I mean?
You just can't be dry like you are in the sky.
Like it gets into your bones.
Oh.
Oh God.
We will need to. Neppy wipes a bit of blood off of her face and dust up. I would likely need to rest. I'm assuming we will likely have another trial to go through.
Facts.
So we should probably rest first and then either seek someone before or after, but if we're going to go down, where I think we would need to go.
Do we want to find where we're going first and then have a rest?
That sounds good to me.
Yeah, I mean, I know where the Dreamwalker lives at the far end of the chasm. That's where the path starts. It's like an ancient pilgrimage. I've never taken it, but I know it's usually Petch take a long time to do it, like a really long time. So I don't know how long it'll take to get down.
Well,
Just to get to the guy to start the pilgrimage, or it's a
No,
pilgrimage
not
to
to
get
get
to the
to
guy?
him. That'll probably take us like a day. Because there's like a path you gotta take to get over there, but to get to the bottom, I don't know how long it takes.
Oh well, let's talk to the guy, and then I reckon we can come up with something.
Okay.
Yeah.
is there anything we wish to do in the city first? It seems like we'll be trekking out of the city for.
I'm gonna grab some spider milk while I'm here.
Oh yeah.
Yes. So we tootle around the city, I'm assuming.
Right. Yeah. Clack immediately goes in and just starts filling little barrels with spider milk, and catching up with a few Petch that he knows.
Any Tao or giants in the city?
There's a few desert giants. You see Aleem kind of off on the other side of the market near his big tent, but no Tao.
Do I see Kargan at all?
Make
As
a
we're
perception
walking
check.
around? Oh, first roll of the night. Oh, that's gonna be a 23.
Yeah, you're pretty sure you spot him. Kind of on the other side, like he's heading over to the other side of the city, where more of the residences are, and it looks like it's him and his son.
If I catch his eye at all, I just give him a nod.
And he kind of looks over and gives a big wave, nod.
This guy has a big bazaar, right? Like a big.
Yeah, there's a big sort of on the right-hand side is where there's sort of a huge open market, lots of different stalls and carts, and whereas before it was mostly run by desert giants and their Petch slaves, it's now mostly Petch and stone giants with their own carts. You can see there's lots of gems for trade and things like that, and there is some travel between planes, like that like folks come occasionally from Sigil and things like that, but the like most of it seems to be more like trading of like artisan goods, and then like stuff like spider milk and food and stuff like that is also sort of traded there.
I'm gonna grab Callie by the arm. Callie, I'm gonna go get something for Trixie. You want to come?
Yeah.
Yeah. Let's get some souvenirs.
All right, so you head into the market. Is there anything in particular you're looking for?
Nothing in particular, personally for me.
I'm getting flashbacks of the last time the two of you went shopping
Yeah,
in the
exactly.
Like, are you looking for some jewelry or just like anything?
What's like the scar thing? Like what's like when I'm walking through the bazaar? What's like the hawk is yelling out at me? What's the one that's like I hear a lot of? What they're like?
There's a lot about your like soul stone. Like there's like a lot of talk about that, like they like as if there's like different types of stones that sort of represent you. It's almost like a zodiac kind of thing where it's like
cool.
Like get your like it's like your birthstone.
Yeah.
And it's like, so there's a lot of that kind of like, you see a lot of the Petch kind of wear like a pendant or like like an arm like band with it kind of set in of different stones, and some of them look like more like opals and things like that, and some of them are just simple like obsidian, polished obsidian that are beautifully carved and stuff like that. I'll go
to one of those shops and further investigate for sure.
Yeah, so you head over and you see a Petch with very long hair, like way longer than you've seen on most Petch, like probably down to here, totally bald on top, and just kind of like scraggly hair down to here, wearing kind of like what look like almost like quartz glasses, and like kind of carving like a little piece of like igneous rock.
Hi there. I just out of curiosity, could you tell a person's soul stone from like just looking at him?
Oh, yeah, sure. You gotta. Who are you?
I'm Finnan.
Come here.
Yeah, step forward.
Come here.
Kind of like he like sort of grabs you by the chin.
Yeah.
You're some kind of purple stone. Something or other. Some kind of.
I summon the sword and show him the like centerpiece. Like this.
That's the one. That's the one. It's a magic stone, isn't it? It's a magic one. What's the name? Oh, it's right on the tip of my tongue.
Do you want me to give it to you, or do you want to play further on this one? Like, do you want to find it? Because it's good for your brain to try remember things that are like on the tip of your tongue. Yep.
Sarazum.
So close.
Sarazum. I remember.
You know what?
I had a little bit of Sarazum from my grandmother.
Absolutely.
Handed through the family. Very magical. I lost it. So long ago.
Would you like to make a trade then?
For that spear? Of course.
No, not for the sword. Not for the sword. The sword is definitely not for trade. Could you, just real quick, I'm going to cast Silent Image, and I'm going to create an image of two people. I'm going to create an image of Trixie, and I'm going to create an image of Kamea.
Okay.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
And I look at Callie, and I'm like, that's a good likeness, right? I see Kamea real, like, often in passing. That's good, right?
Yeah.
Hey, great.
Kind of looks at them.
Yeah, this one with the horns. It's gotta be obsidian. For sure. I got the just.
And he kind of like he like kind of goes under and pulls off a big blanket over this kind of wooden crate, and it's just filled with stones. And he's just kind of like, you hear the like clanking of stones as he's just like digging through, and he kind of pulls up a piece that's got like it's like a piece of obsidian, but it's got like almost like a marbling through it of some kind of white stone.
This one. This is the one.
That's lovely. That is absolutely lovely.
Yeah.
And for
And
this
then
one,
this lady.
yeah.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
And he goes back and he's digging around, and it takes him a few minutes, and then he pulls out there's like it's almost like it's a green, kind of polished green and brown stone, but you can see there's like flecks of what almost look like diamond kind of like all throughout it.
This is what I get for her.
Callie, what do you think?
Yeah.
Perfect. I'm gonna reach into my pocket and I'm gonna pull out, I would say it would be like maybe the size of a thumb, a little chunk of like uncut sericite.
Oh, it's Sarazum.
Yeah.
You got some Sarazum. How did you? Oh.
I like show him my spear, I show him my sword, I put them both away. Like
yeah, you got a guy.
I got a guy. I got a pretty good through line to some sericite. But is this fair trade?
Absolutely.
And I'll hand him a piece of sericite. And as I hand it to him, I'm going to expend a spell slot to like push some of my like magic into the sericite.
Okay. Hey, you ever need any stones? You bring that Sarazum over. I'll do anything you like.
Is it? Oh, I didn't realize how valuable it was. All right, but that's a great trade. Thank you very much.
You want me to set those in anything? Or use them raw like that?
Callie, what do you think?
Want me to carve anything on them?
I would love your advice on what, like, obviously, for Kamea, it's 100% on you, but like, what should I get Trixie? Like, should I just get her the rock, or like, I'm at a loss here.
What do you want?
Are you asking me or her? You're asking her.
I'm asking my friend. But if you have some advice as well for
No.
This one.
No.
Okay. I don't know, Callie. I'm so new to this. And I want to get
necklace and maybe earrings.
The rock's quite big for earrings, but
He could carve it.
oh, he could. What do you think is better, a necklace? What's a gift that says, hey, I went away for a little while, I went to different planes and talked to the Titans, but doesn't say, like, isn't overstating anything. Like, I want to get her a nice gift, but also like be cool about it. Like, I don't want to overstep or anything. So is necklace like too much? Is it like a bit too fancy? No. Right. And what do you want for Kamea?
Taking like a body chain, if you can do that. Can the Petch do that? Like a body chain, like a with a rock in the center with like.
Oh yeah, sure.
That's
absolutely.
That's it. A necklace and a body chain, if you could.
Easy,
body chain
easy.
for the necklace for the onyx, and the body chain for the diamond.
All right. Can you come by tomorrow? How long are you in town? I know you're not from here. I can tell.
Oh, that's a really good question.
Your skin is hating this dry place.
It's so dry here. It is very
so dry.
My
I love
lips
it.
are already
It's good.
incredibly chapped. That's a really good question of how long we're going to be here for. How long is the pilgrimage to Grumbar? If you know off the top of your head.
Oh, you're gonna see Grumbar?
Yeah,
Are you gonna carve a heartstone or something?
Not quite. Just hopping by,
Popping by. I mean, I went down there. I carved. I didn't see Grumbar while I was down there, but they say sometimes you can see him down there because he's the one who makes the heartstones.
Yeah.
I mean, it took me and my partner. I don't know him. I mean, we must have been going down there for a very long time. I mean, time doesn't. It's not the same. I've met people from your plane.
How many dinners did it take? I know you guys measure things by meals.
Probably maybe 600 dinners.
Right. Awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome. That's fantastic.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's a slow. I mean, we
kind of took your time.
We have to, or else. I mean, it's dangerous. You can't be rushing down there.
Right.
Especially us.
Is it a hole? Could you just fall straight down?
I mean, you could.
cool. That's
I
awesome.
wouldn't.
No, of course not. I just
I mean,
exploring
look.
options.
You get down there, you feel the pressure, and I mean, I am a little more dense than you,
Yeah.
so it's not so bad. But someone like
So
you,
air
you're gonna
pressure-
feel it.
The air pressure changes as you get deeper.
Yeah.
That's also really good to know. You have been an absolute amazing resource. Could I be back first thing tomorrow to pick these
Sure.
up? Is that
Sure.
enough time?
Yeah.
And I'm gonna put 20. Just give him 20 gold.
Thank you.
Cool. I'll see you
Okay.
tomorrow.
I'd love to, if it's possible, I want to try and find somewhere to get Jar something for her magic. Because like I talked to my foster sister about the magic and her magic, and then just like something to maybe help Jar with it.
Does she want my crystal knuckles? Because I'm not using these anymore. I know you're not asking this out loud, but letters offerings. If he's aware. Okay, now you do your thing. I think she'd look really cute with big knuckles. I'm adopting this Petch's accent. He was such a delightful guy. I just think a little girl, big crystal knuckles. All right, you're the mom.
So would you like to find you could try to find like a focus
Yeah.
for her?
Yeah, like a focus. Yeah.
Yeah. Is there any specific thing that you would like it to look like or to be like?
Well, something that's not too big.
Okay.
Something. I want to try and go off of like, I don't know, Jar's personality. Something. Yeah.
All right. So you look around. Make an investigation check for me.
Would love to make an investigation.
Can I assist with that while we're shopping? Oh wait, I can't assist with that. Never mind.
I'll give Callie guidance for that, so I can add
Sure.
a D4. I'm sure you'll find something wonderful as I just put my hand on your shoulder and cast guidance.
Oh, that adds a D4.
It do.
It do. Okay.
Was Neppy present when Finnan was asking about crystals? And if so, Finnan blushes so deeply, thinking it was just him and Callie, and he goes,
No.
She's so red.
No, I'm assuming you guys came back to us before you went to the next
Dirty
place.
20.
Dirty 20. Okay. So you look around, and there's a number of you find a few stone giants who work in kind of fine metal work, like taking raw ore and carving it. And you find one stone giant who's working on like fairly small pieces. Like you have noticed that the stone giants here are very good at working with like very fine and small detail. Because of their close relationship with the Petch, they have gotten very good at dealing with smaller items. And you find there is one kind of working with a number of like working with a lot of jewelry and some kind of like decorative adornments that are basically like stone that has flecks of gold within it and like veins of gold within it, and kind of refining that so it has this kind of natural look with the with the stone, but then also this kind of beautiful kind of natural vein of ore throughout it. And you find one, he's working on a piece that's fairly small. It's sort of triangular in shape as he's carving it, and you can see the vein of gold kind of comes up and kind of spreads out almost like wings. Like there is kind of like a natural resemblance to wings in this gold or stone. As he's kind of like refining it down and polishing it.
I'll go talk
Kind of
to
like
him.
notices you eyeing it. Do you speak giant?
No. Don't.
He kind of
I
like
do.
Okay. He goes to speak, and you understand Finnan as he is like, "Do you like it?"
He's asked if you like it, and I'll just like translate from now on.
Yeah, I do.
Would you like to buy it?
Yeah, I'm looking for a focus for my daughter.
Is your daughter a magic user?
Yeah, she is. Fire.
Fire. He kind of puts up his hand, and you see he kind of like he rises and he goes over to the back of his stall, and he kind of moves over some like earthenware pots, and you see he kind of opens one down at the bottom, and he pulls out like kind of a small handful of rubies. And you watch as he comes over and kind of sits down and he holds the ore in one hand, and you watch as he lays these very, very small rubies, and they're not cut rubies, they're like kind of jagged and uncut, but they are beautiful. You can see sort of like edges of them have naturally been polished as he kind of lays them out, kind of along the edges of where this sort of wing natural formations are. And then you watch as he moves his hand across the stone, and you watch as the stone melds and absorbs the rubies into it. So you can see that just they lie flush with the piece of stone, and the ore hasn't changed, but now is sort of dotted with these rubies throughout.
It's beautiful.
Like this?
Yeah.
Would you like a chain or armband?
Armband, I think.
Okay. And he kind of gestures to your arm as he pulls out a bit of leather.
I would show him. I would try. How big is Jar's arm?
Much smaller than your arm.
I create a silent image of Jar.
Like a full size. And he goes, and you watch as the stone, which is probably about this big, you watch again as he moves his hand and it shrinks slightly, so it's more sort of jar size, but it retains all the detail that it had, as you watch as he quite deftly layers two pieces of leather, and kind of opens it up and kind of sets the whole thing and weaves it around in this kind of beautiful braid that holds it in place. And then he sort of gingerly, as the silent image holds its arm out, he sort of measures it, and links a kind of tie on the back. And the whole thing, it takes him probably about 2 hours to do, as you're kind of standing there, and then he kind of presents it to you.
Wonderful. Yeah. How much is?
And he kind of he understands that you're asking how much money, as he sort of trade.
Oh, trade. I don't know if I have anything to trade. I don't know what Callie has on her. She doesn't have much.
Would we be with them? Would the rest of us be with them?
Yeah, you guys are probably wandering over at this point.
No? Sean says
yeah.
I look, Letters is doing something. Guess what? Kale was part of it.
Neppy, let's just say for expediency's sake, Neppy is there with the bag.
Yeah.
I would pull out two whale teeth.
Okay.
I have whale teeth from the North Valley.
Yeah. And he kind of his eyes go a little wide as you pull out these big ass teeth. Those things' teeth were huge.
Yeah.
It's kind of
It's from a giant whale called a North Valley from the material plane.
He sort of looks at you whale.
It's like a big thingy that lives under wetness. There's lots of
Oh.
wetness on the material plane. You know how rock can turn to liquid? Like that, but not hot. Quite cold, actually.
Imagine a desert, but water and very deep. This creature lives at the bottom.
And you see he holds up the teeth and is like, whoa, whoa. Like,
I feel like just one should suffice, right?
and he takes the one like, and he
I'll
gives
give
you
him the
other.
bigger one. I give him the biggest one of the two.
Yeah.
I mean, I have 3. I give him the biggest one of the 3.
Yeah, he takes it and is like, thank you. Thank you. And he's still like examining it. It's like, so he's familiar with like the creatures that you've come across here. Like some of them have teeth, but like the teeth are very different than this
You have to
kind of
break
tooth.
through,
And,
like,
the
rock and
bone-
stuff.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Like there's not a lot of creatures with like
Sharp.
calcified bones as well. Like it's a very different, like the fauna here are plated and like designed to chew up earth and things like that. So it's like,
I would take out my gun, and because my gun has bone inlaid in the handle. Bone makes beautiful jewelry and weapons.
and he kind of takes it back to the back of his stall. So you now have an arcane focus for Jar.
Oh yeah.
All right. Is there anything else you'd like to do in the market?
I would love to go visit Aleem. If we're going on a small shopping excursion, I would love to go visit Aleem.
Okay. Yeah, you head over to Aleem, and he immediately recognizes you as like he's excited that you've come over. It's like, hello, it's so good to see you.
Hello,
Welcome
Aleem.
back.
Thank you. And we would peruse his shop for what magical, wonderful wares he has in store.
I have some things.
I know he had some things
Some
last time.
things. He still has one of the immovable rods.
Okay.
He has the you see he has a rune similar to the shop that you saw in the way station, the kind of runes that you saw in there. He has one of those runes that you saw some of those runes in the window, but it was closed, but he has one like that in his shop.
What does it do?
I don't really know. I know it can be affixed to a weapon. I found it on a broken spear. But I must say I'm not familiar with this writing. So I don't know.
Is it in any language that?
It's in Dwarvish.
Okay.
It looks like Dwarven runes. It's not Dwarven language, but it looks like you've seen Dwarven runes.
I feel like I know
runes.
someone who could identify this pretty easily.
But he's somewhere else in the Vistara.
Oh, you're talking about letters. I was talking about Magrin, but yeah, letters makes more
yes.
sense.
Yes. All right. So there's the rune. Is there anything else around?
And he kind of looks through. Not much. It's mostly simple things. Not as many magic items come my way.
Of course.
With the old guard leaving,
Yes. Of
there
course.
is less trade in that kind of thing.
Could something be attached to that immovable rod?
I assume so.
I'm just
And
thinking.
you watch as he holds it out and clicks it, and it's kind of hanging in the air, and he starts balancing a rock on top of it.
I love Aleem. What's you thinking, Finnan?
Right, and I'm gonna relay what the Petch said to me about like how deep. And I was like, if we could get a blacksmith to like attach 2 rings, we could like, I don't know, create some sort of like have one person holding the rod and drop it and then reapply it, so we drop kind of down. I don't know, I'm just pitching ideas.
I know we could probably also fly down.
We could, but I'm worried it might be so deep that that runs out, and if we commit to the flying thing and then we run out, that's bad.
Well, let's talk to the seer first. We don't know what we're dealing with.
True.
Yet.
You're not wrong.
We go to seek the seer. Yes.
The Dreamwalker.
Yes.
Yes.
Do you know anything about them?
He is a strange one, but he is very wise.
Right.
He walks between worlds.
As in between sleeping and awake, as his name would suggest, or different?
Yes.
I think we've met someone who does that too, perhaps.
It is always like that with him. It's as if he does not know the difference.
Right. That's helpful. Thank you. How much for the rune? Are you seeking trade or money?
I accept money, yes.
I know you do.
Yes. I would say 1,000 gold pieces.
Oh.
Could we call it 800 because of our friendship?
Make a persuasion check.
That is a 28.
Yes. Yes, but you must come visit me more often.
You're
We
absolutely
promise.
right.
We
Puts it in
promise,
your
okay.
hands.
We can.
I very rarely get to use my expertise. That's why I've been trying to barter this entire time.
Why don't we pay for that for the party? Something to give to Megran for all.
Yeah, honestly, Neppy, I'd be happy to split that with you, and just like a gift from you and I for the work that
all
she
the
did
work she did for us.
for both of
yes.
us. Yeah, so I'm happy
Yes.
to put 400 towards that. If
Yeah, of course.
yeah.
Of course. All right. Sounds good to me. Yeah, I'll take it. I'll take it and pop it in the bag.
I'm also swimming in gold. Like
I
we
know
so
you are.
very rarely spend gold.
Doesn't make us buy things. It's nice.
I just went under 10k. I just dipped
How do you
under.
fuckers have
Tim's
so
a
much
cool
money?
DM.
Because we fucking looted the horde of Tiamat.
That's
I just filled my bag with
I
gold.
filled my
and we
dress.
haven't spent
I
it
did that.
since. It's true.
And
I'm
you,
just sitting on stacks, dude.
that's right. Yeah, we're decently flush with the party. I built a house, so I spent a lot of money on a house, and that
makes sense.
The real estate in Wolfar
Yeah,
these
yeah,
days.
It's a
is
good investment,
unbelievable.
though.
had
It's
to
a
buy
good-
outside the city.
You
I
want to
bought a
get
giant-
now, but
I bought in, you know.
I mean, it's
first
good
in.
that it's two adventuring. Both partners.
Kokanee doesn't have any
adventurers.
fucking money. What are
I
you talking
realize-
about? I carried all the money.
I realized Finnan was thinking about investing in a restaurant, a dark table restaurant. So I should save my money. I forgot about that.
It's about acquiring assets.
The fact
You're
that I
gonna
didn't do
need
that
some
over the year
startup.
break is devastating to me that I'd forgotten about that.
Okay, so I have the runestone in my bag to identify at a later date.
Okay.
Perfect. Yeah, and then thank you very much, Alim. It's so wonderful to see you.
It is good to see you. It has been too long.
Yes. You take care of yourself, all right?
You as well.
Did we as a group set a time where we were going to meet back together, or?
Yes.
What, after Letters and Kale do their thing, then yes.
Yeah.
Whenever we're
So-
done dicking around here.
I would just spend. I would
Wow.
just spend the rest of the time just like having a nice day, like
You
a
find
nice
classic.
market
He's just got
day.
like an armful of barrels that he's loaded. He's like loading into the thing. He looks so pleased, and he's eating like a giant rock. Like he's just like the biggest fucking shit-eating grin on his face. Just like he's like a kid. Letters and
Two things so quick.
Yeah.
Just gonna I just want to look, I know this place. I know the place to score. I just want to score a bunch of fucking choice gravel, OG spider milk, just like fucking sweets, treats, and things to eat. Just like a bunch. I want to drop 100 gold pieces, bring it to this side Jongle's conch for the next time he makes a crossing, to just bring it back as just a massive gift basket for all the office workers down at the Dresden Trading Company. And then I want to fucking take fucking Kale to food truck alley.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Because I just want to yo, Kale. So, we don't have food trucks per se, but in that bazaar, I want to go to Flavortown. I'm like, I know, like, you have, like, this is your first time in the elemental plane of Earth, and I know you weren't too hot on the elemental plane of Air's cuisine, but I know you've probably tried a little bit of Scar fusion, but if I'm being totally honest, the fusion doesn't quite do it justice. And so I'm gonna score him some fucking jerky and be like, you're gonna have to try this jerky. It's unbelievable.
You head up to a stall and you buy this jerky that like it's.
Wait. Do you try the jerky?
Yeah, it's long and it's stringy.
Yeah.
Is this this isn't like the eggs where you put hair in it, is it?
No. There's no eggs or hair in that jerky.
Okay, but okay.
You should taste it.
Yeah, I will.
Yeah. Good.
I promise you, I will taste it.
Yeah.
But I just maybe I should ask after. Is jerky of what?
Oh, you should try the jerky. This jerky's unbelievable.
Yeah, man. You should try the jerky.
You should try the jerky.
There's a big patch. Like he's like like you don't see a lot of like thicker patch, and this is like a thick patch.
Buddy.
That is bugs. How good is bugs?
Yeah.
It's great. There's no plants here, so everything we eats something else. Most of it has an exoskeleton. So like, I think that right there is just spider jerky. How good is that? Those fucking birds don't know how to cook bugs. How good is bugs?
I mean,
because it doesn't have hair in it, but it's like you're eating hair because it's so stringy.
It is very much like eating hair. Yes.
Yeah, right?
Yeah.
No one serves hair on the material plane. They're fucking.
I mean, if I find hair in something, I usually send it back. Or
well, I mean, that's just that's just how you were raised. Like you have to unlearn that. So like I don't, like you shouldn't feel bad about that.
Well, thank you.
You're from a backwards place.
That
you
is
can also see at
true.
the next stall over, there's like a whole like half a Zorn just like hanging, and the other half is just getting roasted.
You want some Zorn on the cob?
Ooh. What is Zorn?
It's that big old 5-limbed.
Is
they're
it also
real mean.
It's also a bug.
It's not a mammal.
Okay. Sure, I will try some Zorn.
Everything you eat here either eats heavy metals or eats things that eat heavy metals. So like the best part about eating here is you don't just get vitamins, you get vitamins that stay in your body forever. It's great. I'm so full of selenium.
That's a good thing?
Yeah. I think if I had less in it, I'd be less magically potent.
Oh, so more
Sometimes
bugs
I'm
means
so potent I get headaches, and I think it's related to all the heavy metals that are in me.
More bugs means more magic.
More or less, yeah. I mean, that's what everyone says around here. Oh my god.
I guess that's
you have
worth
some
it
Zorn?
then. I'll have some Zorn, please.
Yeah, get that Zorn on the cob. Put some mayonnaise
You see, it is a desert giant, kind of serving up the Zorn. You see he like lops off one of the limbs that's been roasting, and you see as he like sets it down on a big slab, and then he cuts off the end where the claw is, and you can see he's like he has another knife that's like basically at the end that's cut off from the body, just kind of resting in the chopping block, almost as if to like keep it inside. And then he like quickly lops off like 2 long, probably like just under a foot long hunks, and you can hear that like there is like a hard, like the outer shell is hard, and then he takes it and he flips it and he cuts it very quickly down the middle, and it kind of splits open, and you can see the like meat inside is almost like, it looks almost like crab like meat.
Yeah.
And it is like, he kind of like, you watch as he he reaches into like a bowl that's got like a little, it's like a mortar and pestle bowl. And he like kind of reaches in and he looks at you like, and he's got some kind of dust in his hand.
Sure.
And he just like back and forth, just like.
Brave man. Very
almost
brave,
certainly gravel.
Dust Bay. We love that.
And he hands it over to you. And so it's like the shell is sort of the serving platter for this thing. And you can see the dust is like, it does look kind of like blackish gray.
And this is seasoning salt?
Yeah.
Yeah, more or less.
More or less?
I mean, I feel like by definition it is a form of salt, and it is seasoning the meat. So, both the things you said are accurate.
Okay, so more. Okay.
Okay, so you eat it, and you are immediately hit with this like, it is like buttery soft, like it almost melts in your mouth. It is so buttery, this meat. It is very meaty. It has like a very strong, meaty umami flavor that is like almost off-putting. And then like it is well seasoned with this kind of salt. And you can tell like that it is quite salty, but you are left with like a grit in your mouth as you kind of swallow it down. It's not terrible.
It was lovely.
Yeah, right?
But
you can't
I
chew
think-
all of it. Some of it you just have to swallow or you'll break your teeth.
Usually not a selling point of food. But that meat is so delicious. That with a little bit of like a garlic aioli on like a fresh baked bun. You guys would do very. I mean, maybe
Now
less
we're talking
gravel.
Scar fusion.
Yeah, because I mean, it's very
We'll put the
good.
gravel on the bun like sesame seeds. Yes,
like
I'm right there
optional.
with you.
Optional gravel.
We'll talk about it. Look, we said we'd meet up. I just wanted to show you this. I think you're onto something there.
I'm latest, I must say. I was too quick to judge Scar food. I'm not a fan of the jerky that tastes like hay. That's just not for me. I don't think I'll ever unlearn not liking hay as food. But the
because
one
you
that
have so little of it, I think you don't have an appreciation. You know, like I think if you,
I
because
thought you
we
meant
just get
my
hair
father,
everywhere.
I know my father went bald, so I was panicked there for a second.
I mean, you're mostly bald. Can we talk about this? Humans are like, I'm going bald, and it's like I see, like your body scalp. Like, what do you think is happening here? It's fucking weird. No one's explained that to me, but I think it's weird.
So
And we talk about it. All the Minotaur, we talk about it.
Well, let me put
Anyways,
it this way.
Yeah, all right.
I am born with only so much hair. Right? So I'm born with just this on my head and a couple other places. So you can imagine how difficult that is to lose the little we've been given.
Oh, yeah.
I mean,
Yeah,
we've been
that's so
given
cruel.
so little, and now we start to lose that.
You're born lesser than, and then
we
fate takes it away.
lose even more. Fate cruelly takes even more of our hair.
Fuck.
Do you guys not bald?
Nah, it just gets thicker.
It just gets more.
Yeah.
Well, that's the interesting thing about humans is it gets more as well, but in other places. I had this uncle, and it was like on his shoulders,
He sounds very handsome.
but less on his head. It was like it was running away from something.
Well, tell you what, when we get to the plane of fire, we'll have to try out whatever fucking weird cuisine they got there. But I think we gotta get back.
I wanted to address the mechanic of Hale remembering his balding but hairy-backed uncle, but not knowing who the name Basil is referring to.
He doesn't know the name of his uncle.
Oh my god. It's running away from something.
It's
Also, like the next time someone asks me if we're eating food and they're like, "Oh, what's in this?" I'm gonna go, "It's not mammal. It's not mammal."
Definitely not
Adam,
a mammal.
it's kind of like smoke. If Kale's memory is kind of like peripheral vision, he can see it, and the second he looks at it, it's gone.
I see.
So he'll remember things in the moment, but if you were to ask him about his uncle, it would disappear. So it's it's very sort of like peripheral. Just
That's
sort of to
cool.
give you an idea of how that sort of mechanic works. It's very peripheral. So
We meet up with the crew.
All right, so you finish up your Zorn and you head back to the crew, and you all kind of meet near
hair jerky.
near the statue of Grumbar.
Do we wish to rest first? Or yes?
I think we rest up, because if we talk to the Dreamweaver and he's like, "You ready to
You
go
have to
now?"
go now.
And we're
Yeah,
like, "Oh, we
that's
want to
fair.
take a nap," like that's gonna be embarrassing.
Yes. I know of there was an inn.
Y'all want to
that
go to
we-
Jungle's Conch 1?
Yeah, absolutely.
Is Jungle still in town?
Oh, he bobs back and forth. He's like,
Right.
he's like the envoy.
Sounds like a lot of fun.
He
Hey,
lives
Caleb,
in
do you want to
two
try some of
worlds.
this? It's really good.
is that more of the
Yeah, it's the hair jerky.
Yeah. I'm okay, thank you.
Oh, you're missing out, man. So good. I love scar food.
We breed the spiders to be longer, so
Yeah.
it's
No.
Yeah.
not thicker, but just
I
longer.
have
Daddy
in this
long legs.
moment. I have in this moment decided that Finnan, whenever they jump planes, eats everything offered to him and loves it all. Like, he's
wonderful.
he's the least picky eater of all time.
I think that depends on a Constitution saving throw, whether you're.
Since he ate a fucking heart filled with crystal,
Yeah,
he can
I
eat the
forgot.
fuck he wants.
It's true. It's true.
That's
We- we
amazing.
Just like cut all of his taste buds to death.
We gotta get
Absolutely.
Finnan on hot ones. You know what I
The
mean?
heart literally increased his constitution by 2, so he's just like, food is good.
It's like
I
food,
food is
everything
good.
is great. Load it all back.
I'm always hungry.
It's got
We
protein
go-
in it. Fuck yeah.
We go to the to Jungles.
Spider.
Jungle's prime.
Very, very protein
Proteinous.
rich.
Very
Absolutely.
proteinous.
So you head to Jungle's Conch 1, and you step in, and of course this is such a familiar place to you, and it has retained a lot of the decor from before, and still remains to be kind of has transitioned somewhat from a place where the gladiators would be to kind of a museum of sorts, along with still being a bar, but very much kind of like a preservation sort of thing around the gladiators that were, as a number of the statues kind of along the path to where the arena were destroyed or defaced. Some of them still stand, but of course the arena has collapsed down into the chasm. And Jungles, though, has spent time kind of curating and preserving a lot of the gladiatorial relics that he's found and collected over the years, and now kind of live on display. And it is sort of like there's a celebratory atmosphere around it. A lot of the folks who now visit enjoy kind of reminiscing a bit, and with sort of rose-colored glasses, about all the fun aspects of the competition. Jungles is not there at the moment. He is back in Dresda. But you see there is a number of Petch working behind the bar now. There's 4 of them. And most of the clientele right now are Petch. And there's a few stone giants as well. But it seems like a real hot spot of Petch.
We get some rooms. We get a couple rooms for the time.
You get set up with
It's
some
not
rooms.
for a night. It's just a time, I suppose.
You get set up with rooms. You sort of pay on a per meal basis. So you spend, you buy a dinner and
It's
a
a
breakfast.
literal bed and breakfast.
Yeah. And so you get served dinner and some delicious scar food. That has been, they also do have people who come from other planes. This is kind of the common spot for them to stay. So there is some of it has been, there's part of the menu that's kind of
Is there
more
Dresda
serviceable.
fusion? because
like,
Jonquil's
yeah.
been in Dresden for
Yeah.
so long now. It's like it's starting to like leak back through.
But it's,
Wow.
But it's not quite like, it's not exactly like one-to-one. It's more like someone interpreting human food to be like, I
I'll
think
have
they
this,
like this.
this one, the clubs sandwich. I'll have
Well
the
done.
clubs
Yeah.
sandwich,
Oh, yeah.
please.
It's good. It's good. Do you want that on granite or igneous or shale? What do you?
I don't care what the plate is. Just the sandwich, please.
Yeah. Okay, dude.
Fucking so quick. Holy shit.
Well done, Yanis.
Oh my
well
God.
done.
And you get it brought back, and it like there is like 2 thin layers of slate that like contain like some kind of meat, and they're like there's no cheese, there's no vegetables, there is a sauce.
I love when they do these deconstructed sandwiches with, you know, just the toppings on a plate. It's very, very modern.
With another plate on top.
I asked for a burger, and the bun is made out of a different, heartier meat. So it's like soft meat in the middle and like really chewy meat on top.
Absolutely.
So it forms like a bun.
Are you getting like
and
a double
instead
down?
of like
Is that what
instead
you're
of
doing?
bacon, there's like crispy exoskeleton.
Oh, yeah.
So there's like a real crunch in the middle.
Yeah, I'll take the scab salad. That sounds.
Oh, okay. Somebody's watching what they eat.
I just want to hear.
Anything for you two ladies?
Scab salad.
Scabs, Adam. Salad made of scabs.
Gross. If there was like a almost like a not like a rice dish, but if there was like a meat and I don't know, they don't have grain.
What's the most granular meat on this world?
Meat
Yeah,
and-
they're
Very small eggs.
there is like it's essentially larva.
eggs.
Like they have like larva.
No.
That they kind of
Wow.
Bunch
We've
of
all
individually
eaten
moving
Row
rice.
is just
no, they're
small
like they're
eggs.
cooked. They're like well
Yeah.
cooked and
Am I-
seasoned like rice would be.
Is it
like
Yeah,
weird
okay,
that I'm
yeah,
getting
Nephi will do it.
hungry?
And it
Nephi will do
is
it.
like it is reminiscent of a dish that you've had
Yeah.
in Philenis and like a common rice and meat dish.
Yeah.
It just is like their approximation of rice is like these little grubs that we have.
Cool. Yeah, Neppy would go for that. If it's well seasoned, I'm sure it's
it's
fine.
well seasoned. It's
Yeah,
like a little bit
absolutely.
spicy.
Oh, perfect.
Um,
Yeah.
Everything has a bit of grit to it though, like everything. And
Love the
he,
scar so much.
and he brings it all out and he's like,
Can I get you guys want a round of spider milks?
Yes, please.
Yes.
All right.
Yes.
Gally, do you have any tequila?
Oh,
I think
Callie always has tequila on her.
you guys making calliope?
Oh, they've
table?
made it over here.
They have
Yeah,
that's
of course. Yeah, of course.
this is I point to Clack. This is Clack, and this is Calliope. Calliope. They're
No,
right.
no. Are you serious?
Yeah.
Can you?
Hondo
Could
P.
we carve a quick picture of you guys for the wall?
Yeah, absolutely. We'd love that.
that's
Everybody,
amazing.
you gotta hold still for about 40
Yeah.
minutes.
Doink, get over here. Doink.
you see another pet runs over and he like explains it and he's like, oh, and he runs to the back and he brings out like a big piece of slate. It's just like
Oh my god.
instantly sort of like carving out like a
Do you
the
want to
image
get?
of you
Do you
two.
want to get in the carving? Like, let's get everybody in here.
No, that's good. It's good.
Wait,
if
I
you
can-
could sign
I-
it after though, that'd be
but
amazing.
I'd
If you
love-
could
I
carve your
can
name.
create silent images of them in the photo with us so that they can carve and be in the photo at the same time.
Ah, okay, cool.
Yeah.
Carve it.
God.
It takes like 20 minutes.
I think
Just
Finnan is gonna retire to the
furious.
scar one day because I love the fucking scar.
And then at the end he sort of like hands it over to you like,
Could you? Do you think you could carve your name?
I think I could do it. And I've never been good at the carving. I'm gonna do an approximation of my fire brand.
make a sleight of hand check for me.
Oh no!
God.
And we don't know anyone with mending anymore.
My
That's not true. Yes, you do.
Oh, thank God. Sleight of hand. Oh boy, this is a +1, baby. Please roll above a 9. That's a 7. 7
You
plus 1 is an
carve
8.
It looks so bad. And he's like,
Yeah, thanks. Thank you so much.
Can I try and carve?
Yeah.
I have a proficiency in tattoo tools. Does that help me at all?
You can. I will say, make a sleight of hand check.
Yeah.
And you can. It's different than tattooing, so it's just a sleight of hand check.
Yeah.
Unless you've been tattooing Petch lately.
Yeah.
No, I have not.
I feel like there would be a parallel. Ting, 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 ting.
That's a 17.
Okay, yours is pretty good. Like it's like pretty close. You do, because you have been tattooing, your hand is pretty steady, and so that does help. And you take your time, and it's not as rushed as letters, and you manage to kind of carve out your name pretty clearly, and it's nice. And then you watch Clack like just go in there and just like beautifully etch out his name.
Like, oh man, that's a cool signature. Oh, it's so good to meet you.
And like,
Is Clack just like Pedge royalty here?
it's kind of a famous pet.
That's very cool.
Especially here. And you watch as they go and like set it on the wall, and like all of them are like pointing and talking, and you get some more spider milk sent over to your table by other pets from other tables. They're like, oh yeah, that's good.
Amazing.
As you enjoy.
Ali, you're a local celebrity in the Scar. That is amazing.
And you see, like, they bring over a bottle of similarly colored liquid to tequila, and there is a worm at the bottom. The worm looks very different than the worms you're used to seeing in tequila.
It's on us. It's on us. You guys have fun with your calliopes.
Thank you.
You're very kind.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Enjoy.
Just gonna get trashed on an approximation of tequila.
I'm gonna like quickly lean over to him and be like, a round for everyone at the bar on me.
Okay.
And he starts like handing out spider milk, and everybody's kind of cheering.
How much does that cost me?
It'll set you back like 30 gold pieces.
You should haggle.
for everybody in the bar.
Nah, I'm not gonna haggle for
You've got
it.
you
I have
gotta get that
expertise in persuasion, but
You should haggle, bro.
oh, I almost added 30
They
gold.
love it
That's
here.
not how that works. That's not how money works.
Sweet.
Amazing.
So you enjoy your dinner and your drinks, and you head up and you rest for the night.
Do.
And you get your 8 hours, and then you come down for breakfast, and it's kind of a continental breakfast, so there's like a number of things kind of set out. There does look to be some kind of bread product.
Bread.
It looks kind of like a scone, but
Is it grub meal that they've turned into a flour?
No, it seems like they have gotten some flour over, but it is
fancy.
rock hard. These scones are
Baked.
fucking solid.
Could hammer a nail with that pastry. Like,
I real quick, retroactively, does Callie eat the worm?
Did Callie eat the
No,
worm?
not after the nose piercing situation.
Finnan eats the worm then.
Okay, make a Constitution saving throw for me.
I am sitting next to Callie at the time, right?
Yeah.
Sick. Natural 10, so 18.
Okay. You have some really fucked up dreams that night. It is scary. Like, you wake up several times in the sweat. Like, and then immediately just evaporates.
it's so arid.
So dry.
Are
but
the
yeah.
beds here still just like rock hard? They're just like,
Oh, yeah.
yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There are some blankets, like they've sort of afforded that as like a comfort that they think people like.
Amazing.
But yeah. So you do you guys want to head out?
Yeah, we
Yeah,
head out to go seek
absolutely.
the Dreamweaver, Dreamwalker,
Dreamwalker.
the Dreamwalker.
So as you kind of head out of the city, you head kind of down the left-hand side, farther down past the Scar, and you can see where the city ends, and then there's a path up, kind of like the edges of the chasm go right to the walls, and there's kind of like a cliffside that you have to navigate.
Yeah, this is the Dreamer's Ridge. It's pretty narrow. This is meant for Petch, but it should be fine.
To the group,
Yes, death word on myself, Tim.
I was informed that this might take up to 600 days around.
600 days.
I asked a patch, and he said 600 meals it took him. Well,
Oh,
600 dinners it took him to get down here.
Well, that means kind of like 200 days. We do about 3 meals a day.
No, he specifically said dinner.
I mean, the Petch usually take the path pretty slowly.
Right.
There is a lot of danger in going that deep. So Petch usually go very, very slow.
He also mentioned something about the pressure.
I don't know about that. I've never been down there, but
apparently the pressure, he
makes
said
sense.
it's intense even for him, and he's a patch. So like, I'm not a patch, and I don't want my like body to collapse.
yeah.
Tough guy like you'll be fine. Here, let's talk to the Dreamwalker, because we know he's not gonna take 600 dinners. I think he's just at the end of this path. We talked to our man, and if he's like, well, you're too soft for this, then you'll probably just do it anyways to spite him. You know?
That is true. That is true. Right, yeah, let's do it.
All right. So you head up along the kind of narrow shale cliffside, and you can see you have to go single file, and it does look kind of treacherous as you like have to kind of work your way along this thin cliff to get across to where the path kind of heads down a little ways.
I do cast telepathic bond.
Okay.
I do that ritual. I do mind blank on Callie, just so that is established before we do anything exciting.
Okay. All right. So what is the order you'd like to go in?
I'll go in the middle.
I'll go at the front.
near the front. I'll
Just
go
keep an eye out
just
on
behind,
things.
just behind Finnan.
Like Finn and Callie, Neppy.
I'll take the rear.
Yeah, and I'll just hang with Clack in between Neppy and Kale.
Sounds good. Sounds good. So you head up and begin your kind of navigating of it. I will have everybody make, I would say, athletics or acrobatics checks for me, please.
Both of those are identical.
28.
Dirty 20.
Nice. 21 for me.
21. What was yours, Callie?
Stealth?
No, acrobatics or
Stealth,
athletics. Either or.
Acrobatics, I see, right. 19.
19. Okay, Kale.
18 for me.
18. Okay. So yeah, you managed to navigate up, and you're about midway, and you can see there, like, as you're looking down, that like you really get the sense of how bottomless this pit feels. It just like there's a bit of sense of vertigo as you sort of lean back as you are kind of right at the edge of it, and it just continues into nothingness. And it's the whole length of the city and then some. It's massive chasm. And you kind of feel that like there is a bit of wind where you are just naturally sort of occurring around here. And you can see where sort of chunks of shale kind of drop and fall off and clink down, and you hear them slowly, the sound kind of slowly fade. But you kind of look ahead, and you're about halfway. So I'll have everybody make another athletics or acrobatics check for me, please.
Can I cast guidance on myself before I do that?
Sure.
25.
25.
23.
Everyone else in this party is much better at those than me.
Are we close enough? It's not a saving throw, I guess.
No. It's just an ability check.
19.
30, 20.
13?
13.
Okay.
That's with my guidance.
Okay. What was yours, Kale?
19.
19. And yours was 21, you said, letters?
25.
Okay, 25. So you are navigating all right, but Neppy, you kind of misstep, and you feel a huge chunk of shale kind of shift off as you kind of slip. I need you to make a dexterity saving throw for me, please.
Can I try and... I'm like right behind or in front of Neppy. Can
In just
I-
a second.
Saving throw?
Yeah.
With Callie's bonus?
Yeah, with my bonus.
23.
23. So as you're sort of slipping, you instinctually like grab out for both Callie and the rock, and you manage to kind of steady yourself as you like your one foot is sort of dangling as this like large chunk of shale kind of like and disappears down into the chasm.
Does anyone speak Infernal?
Steady yourself.
Not anymore.
No.
Oh.
Nebby swears. There's
How
some
loud do you swear?
under her breath.
Okay. And you sort of put your foot on the other side and continue on as you make your way across the ridge.
Some choice swears. Some really, really bad ones.
You manage to make it most of the way as you're kind of starting to like, you can see sort of where the path descends down a little ways into the other edge. I'll need everyone to make a dexterity saving throw for me, please.
I feel like at this point, Finna knows how to swear in Infernal, but doesn't know what any of it means. He just says the words that he's heard Neppy say.
And Neppy, every time he does, Finna, you can't say that. You can't say that around people.
I don't say it around people.
Certainly don't say that in the temple. That's okay.
Sorry, what kind of check?
22.
Good.
Dexterity saving throw from everybody, yeah.
Everyone gets my +4, I think.
23.
21.
21.
25.
25. 18, okay. So you watch as most of you have passed it, a large chunk of shale drops from above you, and Kale, you just manage to kind of lean back as you feel it kind of like just scrape the tip of your nose and fall down in front of you and fall down into the chasm. It was a very close call, but you managed to have just avoided it as you all make your way down into a little bit of a wider path that kind of flattens out, and you can see there's like a flatter area that then leads to some caves off to the left-hand side. But then farther down, you can see the path continues down to where there is kind of a basin-like area near where the chasm kind of comes to an end. There's sort of a basin area where there's all kind of stalagmites up from the ground. As you get closer, I'll have one of you can make a perception check for me.
I am or you Finn's up front when you do that. I can assist you if you like. Can I do that, Tim?
Yeah, if you have proficiency.
Absolutely do.
Absolutely.
Yep.
Yeah.
Two most perceptive people in the party.
Yes. That is a 26.
26. So you can see as you start to get closer, you're still about 100 feet away, but you can start to see that like these stalagmites look to be adorned with items, various different kinds of tools, what looks like kind of jutting out at odd angles. And as you get closer, you can see that many of them are either partially or fully encased in stone. You can see there's gems, there's tools, what looks like, one of them looks like almost like at the base, there's almost like a dragon's egg, what like you remember seeing the cave dragon eggs. Right. Looks like one of those, but it's mostly encased in stone, as if these items have been left here and then the stone around them has sort of absorbed them to an extent.
Mm-hmm. Do they seem like offerings?
Yeah, they seem like kind of offering like items. And you watch as you're kind of keeping an eye and you're sort of looking through these stalagmites, you see a pair of eyes kind of open up in one of the stalagmites.
Oh, shit.
And then like out of it, you watch almost seamlessly as if moving through water, a stone giant kind of rises up, quite tall, taller than any of the other stone giants you've seen. Elongated kind of head. You can see as it walks up, like it almost as if bringing it out of the ground, a large marble staff kind of carved beautifully with the head of Grumbar at the top kind of rises up. And you can see as they rise out of this stalagmite, various gems and tools are also infused with this creature's body. You can see like a pickaxe has been almost like as if sort of placed here. it's smaller, but it kind of juts out a bit, and you can see kind of sticks out of the shoulder somewhat, as if these items have almost melded with the skin and like of this stone giant. And it kind of
in giant. Are you the Dreamwalker?
Yeah. Huh. And then you watch as the giant just like moves through all of you, kind of like taking you all in and looking. Not for some time have I seen folk like you. And then he looks down at Clack. Hello, Stoneling. And he kind of like, you watch as he just scoops up Clack and sets him on one of the stalagmites. So they're like kind of eye to eye. What brings you here?
We're hoping to get an audience with Grumbar. We heard that he's down at the bottom, and we heard that you were the person to speak to about that.
The breath of stone only comes to those only when it wishes. Only when it wishes.
Do you know when it might wish again?
That is up to the wind and the breath. Should you seek the bottom, you will find the heartstones. And if the breath would like to see you, I suppose it will. It is his will, I suppose.
That seems about right. Thank you very much. You've been pretty helpful.
Seek the path?
That sounds great. Yeah.
Ah.
I mean, if the breath would like us to take the path, do we think we could take the path?
The breath does not know the path. I know the path. I can show it to you.
That would be really cool. Thanks.
The way is one of devotion to each other. You must rely on one another. Should you seek to carve the stone,
we're not looking to, carve our own patch, right? We're not looking to like co-parent, but down at the Heartstones is where we want to be. Clack, do you want to carve a person?
I mean, that's something you do with someone. It's
Yeah, right. Like, it's not the time.
I don't know that it would be something
I
we
just
would
didn't want to
do.
veto that for you.
No, I don't want to do it alone.
Yeah. I mean, neither do I. It takes a village, right? No, we're good. We're good on the carving, sir. Thank you.
You carry the hammer.
Yeah.
Strength.
I'm trying to put it to better use than what it was for before.
Hammers may build,
I'm trying.
You are all very quiet. This is good. It will serve you.
Would it behoove us to be as unseen as possible in this?
It is difficult to unsee those who do not belong to the stone. You may choose to be quiet, but there are many ways of seeing.
Forgive me if I am intruding. Is it customary to leave an offering here?
What you choose to leave is your choice. It all becomes part of the stone.
I'd like to take out a little piece of sericite and offer it.
You kind of like lay it down at the stalagmite. And you watch as the stone doesn't fully encompass it immediately, but immediately, almost as if like rises to meet it.
The things that are given, they go to Grumbar?
No. The breath of stone needs nothing.
But he is aware of the gifts that are given.
He is aware of all things here. He
I'm
is
going-
under your feet.
I was really hoping to give this to Chi, but can I have the feather?
Seems like a good gift to give her brother.
I'm gonna lay the feather down.
And you watch as the as you kind of lay it down, as opposed to being absorbed, you watch it almost as if it just falls, as if it were in water, just sinks into the ground. Ah, you have met the kin of the mountain. I have never seen the sky.
It is as vast as the desert.
Shall we?
Before we go, I'm going to take in the bag of holding, I have a lockbox that I took from the, it was when we were freeing Clack from Malik and Zamrod and Baba. It's a lockbox. It's empty now, but it is from here, and it's been in my bag for this long. And
Okay.
I would place it down and back, and
you watch as the stone begins to reclaim it.
Something you just said kind of stuck with me, Dreamwalker. I'd like to give you a gift. It's not a physical thing, but if you'd allow me.
Yes.
And above the head, I'm going to weave in a 15-foot square a window of sky in silent image. And it's going to be like a moving, like the clouds drift by and like birds will fly through. It's not the sky, but that's what it looks like. So now you can say you've seen it.
I shall fly tonight. Thank you.
It's my pleasure.
This way.
This
And he
guy-
kind of
this guy creeps me out so much.
No, I
you
love
watch
him.
as he
He's
like
perfect.
he kind of like moves and sort of like he has kind of a natural sway as he moves farther down the ridge towards where the end of the chasm meets, and he kind of stops abruptly, and he turns to you, Callie. You. And he just puts his hand out. He doesn't touch you, but he puts his hand out kind of over your chest. You carry a stone. Ah, a stone of love. You will one day carve a heartstone. And then he begins to move again. Just as quickly as he turns around, he turns back around and continues to walk down. As you move to the end of this chasm. And it's just sort of flat rock that then goes into the wall of the cave. Like it's as if the chasm just kind of ends into the this side of the cave wall. And you watch as he picks up his staff and he moves, and as he moves it down, he dips it into the ground again, as if moving through water. And you watch the whole thing, the end of the chasm kind of open up as the stone wall of the cave and the ground all shift around you in like this kind of huge sweeping motion. Like an immense amount of rock gets moved very easily and quickly, and like the ground behind you moves as well, like almost as if a spiral staircase is opening underneath you. He kind of looks down. The entrance is here. The journey will be as long as it needs to be. Farewell.
Thank you.
And you watch as he kind of strides back towards the stalagmites.
Let's go.
Yeah, let me just see if there's anything I need to do to prep first before we go in.
I'll just take a second to recast telepathic bond so we can be quieter as
Yes.
we move through it.
Great call.
Just for the next hour. And I think we'll see what it's like going down the path. I think, well, we'll see. We'll just see for this first hour.
Is it dark, Tim?
It looks pretty dark, yeah. I mean, there's light around you in the cave. There's kind of an ambient light in the top of the scar, but the cave looks fairly dark as you go down.
Who can't see in the dark of our party?
All can.
Kale.
Maybe Kale.
Kale. All right. Okay, I'll just keep a hand on me. Okay.
Oh, I thought you might be able to do this, but if you can't,
I can't. No.
I'm just gonna touch him in dark vision for 8 hours.
Yanis, you are muted.
Sorry, I'm gonna cast dark. I can do it for myself.
Oh, you can
I'll
do it
cast
for
dark
yourself.
vision.
I don't cast dark vision because that's one of
Got
3
it.
slots.
All right.
And we go.
So you head down the spiral staircase, and as you all move past the kind of surface level, the whole earth kind of shifts behind you and it closes. As you make your way into the darkness, down, down, down. That is where we're going to take our break.
Okay.
Ooh,
Dang.
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 It's a good thing Neppy's not claustrophobic. I'm like a touch claustrophobic, just like a little bit.
Yo, I'm so hungry after all that food talk. Is that weird?
wanna eat some
No.
bugs?
About
I'll
weird
eat some bugs.
alien
Get some
food
spider
and-
jerky.
I'm real
We
hungry.
were gonna do a quick break. Our break is like just about 10 minutes. So grab yourself some spider jerky, some spider milk, maybe some Zorn sub, and we will be back in a
Maybe
tight 10.
give eating hair another shot. You know?
You know,
Yeah.
keep your options open.
Try it.
Have you considered that maybe it's just the seasoning? Maybe you just don't like eating raw hair.
See you guys in 10.
your hair.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye. See you
Cook and
soon.
season your hair.
Oh hey guys, it's me, Adam, and I'm here to talk to you about the sponsor for tonight's episode, Legendcraft. Legendcraft is a Canadian woodworking company that makes D&D and tabletop gaming tables and accessories. They are a couple of passionate crafters that create items that will instantly become a highlight of any tabletop or RPG player's game night. An absolute favourite of mine is the Mountain King board gaming table. This table is bonkers cool, looking like it is straight out of a Dwarven King's Hall. It's really unlike anything I've ever seen. We feel really good about endorsing this Canadian business that brings so much passion into something we care so deeply about. So head over to their Instagram at legendcraft.ca to have a look at what they're making and let them know that Blackwater sent you. And if any of you fall in love with any of their amazing products, you can go to their website and use the promo code Blackwater for 5% off. It supports a Canadian business and also helps support our stream in this crazy D&D game we love. Thanks, and enjoy the rest of the show.
Ooh, we're back.
Spicy.
We're back on the internet, guys.
Hi, internet. Hope you all had a
Welcome.
great break. You hydrated and that you. Oh, that music when it comes back into him is so good.
I'm really mad at Pat
We
Sean.
love
'cause he
Sirenscape.
ate all of Present Sean's
Love
snacks.
Soundscape. It's
All the snacks that we're supposed to be saved for right now, Sean in the past ate, and so we are not speaking. Past
Oh,
Sean and
devastating.
Present
Guys, I just want to let everyone know that I keep getting whispers from random Twitch accounts asking me if we want to become famous. We could buy followers and viewers.
I do actually want to become fit. That's
Oh my
what a
Sean.
coincidence.
Don't buy
What a
the hype. It's
coincidence. What? But don't buy the hype. You know.
not-
Don't buy the hype.
It's,
Don't buy that.
you don't want any of that.
Sick. Take it away, Tim.
All right.
We're
So
buying followers. Like
you
just
begin down the path of dedication. And you head down this spiral staircase in the darkness for what feels like nearly a half hour in total darkness before you get to the bottom and it kind of opens up. And you feel the kind of slant of the tunnel heading down. It's not terribly steep, but it's definitely noticeable as you continue down in darkness. Finally, after what feels like maybe 2 hours, you see a small bit of light in the distance.
Has telepathic bond worn off by this point?
Yeah.
It has.
Okay.
You also notice that as you're going down the tunnel, especially you, Finnan, being the tallest, you do have to stoop a little bit. The tunnel height is about 6 feet. It's meant for Petch predominantly. And some parts open up a bit more, but you get the sense that if a giant went down here, they would have to crawl for some of it. But you head down, and as you get closer, you see kind of a large amber crystal set in the ceiling that is glowing. As you continue on, it kind of illuminates this next part of the cavern somewhat. And you can see in the walls there is a mineral that looks almost mirror-like, but dull, and quite smooth along the walls. It seems to reflect the light as it goes. And as you move past that light and get a little bit farther, you notice the light starts to pulse. And there's kind of a strobing effect that begins to take place. And as you get farther, you notice that whatever mineral is in the wall is becoming more polished and more mirror-like as the strobing is intensifying more and more. And the tunnel narrows so that there's only room for it. You can go 2 by 2, or you can go single file, whatever you like.
Yeah, we'd probably keep going single file.
Okay.
Keep the order.
Okay.
Yeah, that sounds good.
So as you continue to move far ahead, the strobing gets stronger and stronger and stronger and faster and faster and faster as this mineral is reflecting the light. It's very disorienting, and you're just getting glimpses of your companions. I need everyone to make a charisma saving throw.
Ooh. We're within 10 of Callie.
Yes. Yeah.
Thank you, Keisha, for my dice. They are rolling very well tonight. Charisma, you say?
How's an 18 sound? Enough?
How does a 32 sound?
Oh, then how's 22 sound?
That sounds better.
27.
Okay.
Dirty
29. Dirty 20. And a 29. Okay. So you all managed to, Callie, you just barely, you're kind of blinking and you're all kind of getting a headache as this strobing is so intense, but you notice that your reflections, especially that of your companions, is getting more kind of grotesque and more grotesque and horrifying as you continue on. You're not sure if it's a trick of the light or if it's a trick of the way the shape of the mineral is, but it's as you get farther into this part of the tunnel, it is becoming terrifying. You all manage to kind of push that fear away as you feel it kind of building and building and building, but you manage to kind of push it away as you just stay focused on the path with this incredibly intense strobing light just flashing and flashing and flashing. As you feel yourself get to where the path you can see, you have kind of this moment of clarity where you can see the path ahead of you drops off on either side, and it is in fact single file now, and there is two kind of long chasms on either side of this, what is like a 6-foot path now becomes a 1-foot path in the middle with kind of 2.5 feet on either side of open chasm, but the cave still kind of shaped around you as you're kind of continuing to walk forward on this narrow path. You're having to focus intensely hard. So I need everybody to make a Constitution saving throw for me, please.
How is this affecting Finnan? Would it be physically affecting our eyes?
Yes, it is very hard on the eyes. You're feeling it even more so because of the nature of your sight. You are, you know what? I'll say this this saving throw is a disadvantage. Okay. Just the immense amount of bright light to dark light to bright light to dark light, is very difficult to manage.
18 enough, Tim?
It's not enough.
Then I fucking flex my brain. 22.
Dirty 20 for me.
Dirty 20.
25.
Can you flex your brain if you're not concentrating on a spell?
Concentrating on my spell adds 2 to my AC and
gotcha.
saving throws. Flexing my brain adds
Gotcha.
4 to a saving throw for
Okay,
a round.
gotcha.
Or 2 to a and attack.
I got 25.
25. Okay. What was yours, Finnan? Sorry.
20. Dirty 20.
Okay.
That is going to be a 24. Wait, plus 6 to that technically is going to be a 24.
Okay. And Kale? Oh, I think he's frozen.
Oh no.
He might be.
Oh, I thought he
dear.
was just thinking real
Oh,
big.
I know. I saw Yanis' face. He's thinking real hard.
he unmuted.
If I take off my goggles, how bad is it? Because I've been training a lot, trying to be blind in situations. Is it more beneficial to keep the goggles on or take them off in this situation?
It is beneficial in the sense that you are able to focus your the visual part of your mind, and that kind of intense stimuli is now avoided. But knowing you're on this narrow path with kind of open gaps on either side, you're having to really focus on the path and making sure that your feet are steady on this part of the path. So there is a bit of difficulty there, and you're moving a bit. You'd be just moving slower, basically.
Okay.
Oh,
21.
21.
Let's go to
Yeah.
21, and then
Okay.
Kale died.
No.
No, don't say that.
The 21 is
say
a
that.
success. So again, you all manage to kind of like, even though this like intense light is kind of fucking with your head, you do manage to kind of concentrate through it and not like it doesn't overwhelm you to the point where you start becoming exhausted just by the sheer amount of stimulus. And you manage to kind of keep the course. And as you move forward, the strobing kind of starts to slow down and finally stops as you come to another amber crystal on the other side of this path. After about an hour, you kind of get to the other side and you notice that you've been holding your breath. Your heart rate was elevated as you kind of all stop and take a breath as the light kind of calms down and it's just this sort of amber glow. You have passed the first part. So
I just let out like kind of like a very quiet sigh of relief.
Now that we are at like a break in the road, I will take the 10 minutes to re-up our brains. I cast the little ritual as quietly and as muttery as I can.
Okay.
So that we all have
Telepathic bond.
Yeah, that's the one.
All right.
Awesome.
So you continue to travel down a very narrow tunnel now that is single file for what feels like hours.
Oh, and it's gone again.
And hours and hours and hours of just this kind of endless cave that for the most part is relatively straight. It does veer slightly here and there, but for the most part it's basically straight. And that takes you basically your whole day.
Do we find like another like kind of opening space, or is it just long tunnel?
Just long tunnel in darkness.
I getting the sense that we've been going for a day. I tap whoever's stepping in front of me on the shoulder. And I kind of make the motion to like rest here would be what my motion is saying, or keep going.
Okay.
I think we would.
For the purposes of this, I think
Yes.
we can talk through.
Yes, we can talk through hand
rough-
signals.
You all rest.
Yeah, we decide to rest here for the evening.
will. If it's just like a very narrow passageway, I would love to. What is that? That's a 4th level spell. For stone shape, I can pick a section of stone that's 5 feet in either dimension, and so I'd love to just like cast it a few times to just like concave in the wall a bit, so we just have like basically I can do it 3
Like a little
times,
sort of
just like a nice
pod.
little like a nice kind of roundish alcove.
Sure.
So we just got a little bit of a wiggle room here.
All right.
And I'll just take a second to just sort of flush that out.
Yep. And you set up for the night. Would anyone like to take watch?
I will take. I'll take first watch.
Oh man, we haven't had
I
watch.
can take whichever watch.
I can also
is
take
needed.
first watch.
I can't take first watch. I've got an appointment that I've got to get to, so I'm gonna go to bed.
Yeah,
I'll-
just
I'll
first
just-
watch.
I'll take the last shift in the
Okay.
morning.
Callie and I will take the first one, I suppose.
All right. So you all sit down, make yourselves as comfortable as possible in this deep cave, and you begin your first watch. I'll have Callie and Neppy make perception checks for me, please.
As Finny goes to sleep, I'm going to cast a spell that I picked up when we leveled up over the year break. I'm going to cast Dream.
Okay.
Let me double check the wording because I might not actually be able to cast Dream on the person that I'm trying to.
I don't know if it goes across planes. It might though.
Nope. This target must be. So I do not cast a spell. This target must be on the same plane of existence as you.
Oh dang.
Darn, dude. Guess when we're looking for Ugabark, I can do that.
Who?
I can't remember the name.
Ubtao.
Ubtao? Yeah, there it is.
Ubtao.
I know it was something.
Uptown.
I got a
You want to
10.
cast Dream on the Sleeping Titan? You fucking...
No,
called
when
you.
we're looking for Ubtao, I'll cast Dream on Trixie so that I can hang out with
Your
person.
girlfriend. So
I can
cute.
be like, I'm fine, I'm alive, we're good.
That's really
Everyone has
sweet.
sending. Finn doesn't have sending.
That's
We
actually
can
like,
send for you. You know
That's
I
that,
don't have
right?
sending. I have a
He has
sending
dream
stone.
powers now.
Yeah, that's a
Alright.
fucking long distance dream. Could you imagine?
What?
I rolled a 3, so I got
okay.
a 10.
26.
26.
That's why we paired you two together.
So,
I'm proficient in perception.
Neppy,
I
you
just-
hear rumbles as you're now kind of just focused on hearing the sounds. You hear a number of rumbles. You hear rocks falling. It's difficult to tell from exactly where, just the way the sound kind of bounces through this tunnel. But you definitely get the occasional kind of vibration through your feet.
Anything that sounds like what the cave dragon sounded like when we were.
Similar, but you also felt similar vibrations when you came up against one of the worms that
Right.
burrowed through.
Right.
Seems like that's kind of
Par for the course.
that's par for the course for this part of the scar.
Yeah. While we were on watch, and we've been basically under the guise of, or like having to be very quiet down here. I would just slip my hand in Callie's and just link my pinky with hers as we just kind of sit back to back and keep an eye on our sleepy friends.
Okay. Your watch goes fairly smoothly and quietly as it comes to an end.
You wake,
Sorry.
you wake Finnan quietly and set him up for his watch.
All right. And then you come to.
And I'm going to. Oh, guidance has a verbal component, doesn't it?
I'll be like,
And I'll go to bed.
You see Clack kind of open his eyes, and he's like, and you say in your head, he's like, "Oh, well, I'll watch with you." He kind of sits up, sits down on the ground, and you watch as he just kind of lays a hand on the ground.
Nice.
cool.
Smart boy.
I'll have you make a perception check.
Oh yeah, have we noticed any like difference in Clack now that we're back on the Earth plane?
You
Is he
noticed
feeling himself?
he like Clack isn't necessarily like buff or anything. He does work out with letters and things like that, but you do notice that like he does seem more hardy than he was, and you're not sure if it's just from carrying that backpack around for a very long time now or the like scrapes with danger. He is definitely looking a little more capable than he was before, or at least able to like care for himself a bit more.
Cool.
Atta boy. That's our good boy.
I got a 29.
29. Okay. You also hear rumbles kind of moving through the ground. You can tell it's coming from farther down, not behind you. And you notice that they are long and sustained. And really, you feel like you can't hear them anymore because they're out of distance. But it feels like there is movement, a decent amount of movement through the earth down here.
Double check this spell. Nah, it's got verbal components as well. Damn it. I look at back and I'm like,
And he just looks at you and he goes, but your watch goes pretty quietly. And the rest of you come to, fully rested, once again in this dark cave. And you set out once again.
yeah, cool.
I can't cast
Mind
F word on
blowing.
myself. So
Just for the first hour.
For the first hour,
About
if
that,
mind
for
link, I'm gonna be like in everyone's mind. If you need to communicate anything to me that like needs to be, I can read lips. So if you just silently say something, like I can tell what you're saying. So once this telepathy is run out, anyone that needs to communicate with me specifically can do so.
the
Got
signal is this when you're
Sorry.
talking in your head.
Can you not cast Death Ward on yourself because it's a verbal component?
Well, I would rather give ourselves the space that, well, until we're in a more open space. There was so, I'm sure I heard them last night. The dragons
Worms.
or wormlings in the ground. I don't want to face one of those again. It almost killed me the last time. So I will save the spells for when we can cast them, or if it's an emergency.
Just so you all know, anything that lives in the ground doesn't just hear us through the ears. It hears us, and letters just steps on the ground.
I know. But maybe for some form of peace of mind being this underground. I'll wait. I'm all right. I'm very hearty. I'm fine.
I can't see shit down here.
Kale, we're Kale, we're on this side.
Yeah.
I like tap him on the shoulder. And then I move away.
Ale, do you need to be able to see?
No, I don't think so. It's also a verbal component. So if we need to do something, I can.
I'd rather Kale be able to see and Neppy be protected.
Um,
I can make us harder to hear for a short period of time.
I'm gonna very quietly cast Death Ward on Neppy.
I'm not gonna cast it, but I will just say mage armor. Just to like prove a point that I think it's okay that we can
You didn't
use
cast it.
verbal components. I don't need it anymore. I just have armor on.
That's right. I was going to remind
That's
you.
true. That's true.
And I just like hip bump Callie a little bit as a
Alright.
thank you.
I'll
Honestly,
cast Dark Vision.
That hip bump probably made more worm noise than actual words.
Oh, stop it. Come on, let's go.
All right.
I just want to look at Finnan and through telepathically say, "Thank you, Finnan," but I want to mouth the words at the same time.
That is so disconcerting. But
I know, right?
Yeah,
I'll just
it's
keep
weird.
doing that. Then as I talk to him, I want to really aggressively mouth the words.
All right. So you continue on for another few hours before you come to a smaller chamber where the tunnel, you see, it kind of opens up into sort of a 20 by 20, and then you can see the tunnel continues on in two branches. So there's a tunnel on the left and a tunnel on the right. And you can see probably about 10 feet into one tunnel, you can see there is a large stone disc, takes up most of the area of the tunnel, which is fairly narrow. This is like probably about 5 feet tall. Like it's a narrow tunnel. You'll have to kind of crouch. You're able to walk stooped, but it's definitely closer in. And the other side, you can see probably after about 30 feet, there's a stone disc on the left-hand side.
So tunnel on the right, 10 foot in is the disc. Tunnel on the left, 30 feet in
Mhm.
is the disc.
Anything written on these discs?
No, just smooth stone.
Callie always goes left, but I think everyone knows that. Like, if Callie has to pick between left or right, she always picks left.
I would love to really investigate the closest disc, see if I can determine anything.
Make
I'm gonna
an
cast-
investigation check.
You can have guidance on that. I will now use a verbal component spell.
Okay.
And have guidance on that.
That's, I mean, it was good guidance, but that's the 15. That's not bad.
Okay. You kind of take a look. As you come up to it, you can see that it does look like it moves. There is kind of like there is a bit of an indentation where you could put your hands. It's small, but you see where you could put your hands, and it's hard to notice until you get right up to it. And then it looks like it rolls into the other tunnel. These tunnels are relatively close to each other.
I have a feeling Dreamwalker said that it's about connection with your team. And traditionally these paths are moved in partners. So I think if one of us is moving one of these wheels, someone should be ready to move the other one at the same time. Does that track for everybody else?
Yes, absolutely.
Do the tunnels go like parallel to each other so that there's a wall?
Yeah.
Could I go to the closest door and activate my ghostly gaze and see if I can see any like mechanism that's linking the two?
You can see there is no kind of machinery. Rather, it just looks like just stonework, like intricate sort of carved stonework. They don't seem to be connected, but it seems to be that like to move, like this one has to be moved over for you to continue forward, and for this one to get like it has to be rolled over, but then kind of closing each side.
Oh, I see. Oh, yeah. Oh. Sorry, I misunderstood you.
So to progress, it's like you would have to go in, and then this one moved over, and then the other side. Sorry.
So so
to open a door, you close the other corridor.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I'm not sure I'm on the same page, but would it be the type of thing that we have to split into two teams, one moving one door, one moving the other, and we kind of have to like
Yes.
take turns pushing?
Yes.
All right. Who's team letters?
I can also do a different team.
We should put people who are quite strong on opposite teams. Probably Letters and Kelly on opposite teams.
Okay, Callie and I are captains.
You are.
I'll pick Clack is my first choice. All right, Callie, it's your turn.
Yeah.
Who's on your team?
Neppy.
Absolutely. I go on Callie's team.
Okay, I pick Kale. Sorry, Finnan.
Finnan.
That's fine. I always got picked last in sports.
Really? But you're so athletic.
No, I didn't. I always got picked first. I was always the best at things.
Yeah.
That's why it cuts so deep that you've done that to me.
All right. So
I just know that Callie's gonna need the help.
and Neppy.
We have
and
all our major
Finnan,
healers on one side. That's fine.
are on the left-hand side. And
Wait, no, Neppy's on my side. Oh,
You didn't pick
no,
Neppy.
you didn't pick Neppy.
No,
you picked
I picked
Black.
Neppy,
I-
and then
I'm gonna be like, Kale, you and I should switch. Just, I know.
Listen,
Letters said-
I know it's difficult being picked last, but
That's not what it
these
is.
are the teams.
Okay, so when you go down,
I'm a paladin.
Yeah,
Right.
he's saved me once
you are
before.
absolutely right. Yeah.
with
You've
five
never saved me.
Neppy looks at Letters with the like most. There's no insincerity. Like there's so much genuineness. You've got this. I believe
Probably.
in you.
Yeah. I believe in all kinds of stuff. I'm a paladin.
She just like gives him like a little tap on his arm around the front, and then goes on Callie's team.
Don't worry about it. We
So-
know magic. We're gonna be fine.
as you head in, you kind of go on your separate sides. So Nepentha, Callie, and Finnan, you kind of head in first.
Mhm.
As
This is the worst way to split this party.
Oh, absolute
So
worst.
bad.
Black,
It's the
Letter,
worst
and
way.
Can't go
Kale,
wrong.
you head in on the
No,
right hand
it's
side.
totally
and,
fine. We go on faith, you guys. We go on faith.
and
It's great.
move the stone. It moves relatively easily. Easier than you thought. It is quite heavy, but like it has been designed in such a way for it to kind of move smoothly, as it's normally this whole thing is done by Petch. So as you kind of move it across, you move ahead, and at first the gaps between the stones are fairly large, but as you get farther, they start to get closer together, and as you start to move, you kind of feel this rhythm of back and forth between you. But then it gets to a point where you can pretty much only fit one person between each gap. Essentially, you move it over, you can move forward, and then it gets rolled back. And then that, like, kind of makes sense. So it's like you're pretty much on top of each other, having to move it back and forth. So you're now having to do it solo as you go.
Okay.
So as you move forward, you continue to kind of, and this goes on for a while. Feels like hours. Your muscles are starting to ache, even though these stones are well designed and smooth. You are starting to feel the weight of this, and I will need everyone to make a. This will be a strength saving throw for me, please.
Would I be within 10 feet of Callie?
One of you would be within 10 feet of Callie, so whoever is immediately behind her.
What would be the order that we'd go down the tunnel, like on our side?
You take it.
You sure?
You take it, yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I'm gonna fucking need it too.
My strength is decent.
25.
2.
Okay.
18.
18. Okay.
Oh, 12.
19.
Okay, so only Callie and Kale succeed. Everyone else, including Clack.
Letters got
Letter's got
22.
Oh, I thought you said 2.
Oh,
My
sorry,
mistake.
Cal.
My mistake.
I also had 2, yeah.
Yeah.
I'm
So
incapable
yeah,
of rolling
anything
a 2.
below 19 is a failure. You take a level of exhaustion. Clack does as well. As like just the repetitive motion and this kind of close quarters, this kind of claustrophobia starts to kind of creep in a bit, as you are like increasingly becoming more and more uncomfortable being in this kind of narrow space, moving these stones, this repetitive motion. It's starting to wear on you. As you continue to move forward, you continue for another, feels like 3 hours. I'll need everyone to make another strength saving throw for me, please.
22 again.
That's cool.
23.
It's a natural 20.
Nice.
So you manage to, even though your muscles are burning.
25.
18.
18. Okay, Kale, you take a point of exhaustion. So most of you, despite your muscles kind of burning, you manage to kind of push through it, except for you, Kale. You do suffer a point of exhaustion. As you continue on for another 3 hours, you're getting close to the end of your day. I will have everyone make one more strength saving throw for me, please.
That was a nice sound.
Natural 20.
Hey,
Letters is home.
Yeah.
Feels good. Getting a good burn.
Natural 1.
Okay.
Also natural 1.
Okay.
16.
So it's a
16.
10, but it is a natural 1.
Okay.
Also 16.
All right. So for those of you who failed, you take an additional point of exhaustion. Those of you who rolled a natural 1, you take 2 more levels of exhaustion.
Oh, bud. So
Yep.
what's everyone at? Hold up how many levels of exhaustion you got. Okay.
As you finally kind of push through, you come out into another chamber. As you all kind of pile out into this kind of, it's about 30 by 30 kind of round chamber, and you can see there's another tunnel that continues on. It's a little bit bigger, but I do need everyone to roll initiative for me, please.
Shit.
Everyone with any points of exhaustion, roll at disadvantage.
Right. Oh, buddies. Here
I
we
put
go.
exhaustion in D&D
So-
Beyond. It wouldn't just do that for me.
No.
No.
D&D Beyond
Level
doesn't
1
adjust
exhaustion is disadvantage on ability checks. 2 is speed is halved. 3 is disadvantage on attack rolls and saving throws.
Oh, buddy. Okay.
Okay.
Wow. Okay. All right. Yikes. Everyone's exhausted except for Leonard's.
All
I was
right.
doing
You're
so
home.
good until that fucking natural one.
Yeah, buddies.
25 to 20. 20 to 15.
That's going to be a 15 for me. How is Neppy going first?
15 to 10. 10 to 5.
9.
7.
Letters. 9. Kale is a 7.
Finnan is a 7.
7. So
Dale is a 3.
is 3. Oh, Kale is a 3. My mistake.
I'm a 4.
Jesus Christ.
Callie 4. Okay. So as you come out into this, you're kind of all catching your breath. You feel the sweat kind of like pouring down your foreheads and immediately getting wicked away. You're all very dehydrated and exhausted from this part of the journey. But you feel the ground beneath you shake violently as a massive worm pulls through the side of the cave and rubble spills everywhere. As we jump into it, the worm is going to go first.
Fuck.
You can see, similar to the worm you saw before, but slightly different. This worm is much bigger. You can mostly just see its head come through, and you can see this kind of like black ichor dripping from its mouth as it like the kind of brown plating on its back kind of like travels all the way down, and you can see its mouth is just ringed with teeth. It is going to use its trill first. So as it comes through, it emits this kind of high-pitched sound that echoes in this chamber. I need everyone to make a wisdom saving throw for me, please.
Mine's
We're all
a
bunched up
disadvantage.
by Callie.
Holy
Yeah,
fucking
yeah.
shit.
All
I
good.
rolled a natural 1.
No, buddy.
It is a 12, Tim, but I did roll
Not
it.
enough.
I rolled a natural 20, but I'm 3 points in exhaustion. So I also rolled a natural 3. So that's 11 with Callie's bonus.
Oh boy. Okay.
Sorry, that was a
I
dex.
rolled a natural 2,
Wisdom.
which will get me to 12.
12. Wisdom save.
32.
Okay.
22. So Kale and Neppy succeed. Let's see how Black does. He succeeds.
dude.
The rest of you, so Letters, Callie, and Finnan, you all are stunned as you feel your body kind of lock up from this sound. It like
ain't
activates
good.
your muscles in a really intense way, and your whole body is stunned. You are stunned for a minute. You can repeat the save at the end of your turn.
Oh my god.
I'm stunned for this combat, I guarantee.
All right. So the creature is going to then use its bite, and it's going to bite. Who's on the right-hand side? That was Letters would be the.
We were on the right, weren't we? We were on the
You
one.
guys were.
We were on the one that was closer up.
We were
So
on
that
the
was
10-foot one.
That was the right. So it would be me, I think. Up at the.
Okay. No, you guys were on the left-hand side. Letters and Kale and Clack were on the right-hand side.
Oh, okay.
So it's going to go after Letters. It's going to do the bite. And that is a 20 to
That'll
hit.
do it, because I can't take reactions, correct?
All right, so that is...
Tim, can I take reaction?
Not if you're stunned.
No, you're stunned. I don't think you can.
Boner.
15 and 21 and 9 is 30 points of piercing damage.
Ooh-wee.
Plus
Not on my body. I need
11
that.
points of poison damage.
This is so
Which
bad.
reduced to 5, because I got the belt of dwarven
Dwarven
kind.
kind.
Yeah, and I need you to make a dexterity saving throw.
At disadvantage, because I'm stunned.
Yeah,
You guys, I just took my poison kit away. I just took my poison kit away. Why did I do that?
Automatically fail strength and dex saves when you're
Sick.
stunned. So you watch as Letters just gets gulped up.
I hate it here.
I remember why now we don't like the scar.
When we don't come back to the scar.
That's
right.
the best part about scar food is sometimes you eat it, sometimes it eats you.
Everything eats something in the scar. All right, Neppy, you're up.
Well, fuck. I can't do anything to break a stun condition. The best thing I can do is
Also, I will have you know, Letters, you are blinded and restrained when you're inside the creature.
Ooh, boy.
So is everyone else around me outside stunned?
Kale's not stunned, Clack's not stunned.
Okay,
But
so
Finnan
Finnan
and Callie are stunned.
Cool, her DPS are stunned. Great. Okay. I'm gonna. Who's up next after me in the initiative?
It is Letters next.
Probably.
And Letters is inside
The worm.
the worm. Okay, I am going to spread out. Actually, no, that's not true. I'm gonna stand kind of near where Finnan and Callie are. I'm not gonna leave them there just to get eaten. And I am going to use my channel divinity of Path to the Grave. And so you watch as kind of like Neppy just pulls a bunch of this like dark black purple magic, and it just circles and surrounds this worm. So the next attack that hits this creature, it's cursed until the end of my next turn. The next time this creature is hit with the attack, it's vulnerable to all damage and overcomes all resistances and immunities.
Cool.
So and next time it is hit. Yeah.
All right.
And then as my bonus action, that's not a spell, I'm going to bring up a spiritual weapon. I'm just going to bring up a second level spiritual weapon just to get another person on another thing on the field, and I'm going to hit it.
So it's vulnerable to this damage.
Oh, then I'm not going to do that. No, I don't want it to do that because this won't be a big ol' hit. So I will wait. I will wait. I will not bring up my spiritual weapon as of yet. I will stand my
You
ground.
haven't cast the spell at all.
Nope, haven't cast a spell at all. Nope, sorry. That's my mistake.
Okay.
No, because I want Letters to do a big old hit from the inside. That's what I want.
All
Well,
right.
You're gonna have to wait for a whole turn at the earliest, because I make a saving throw at the end of my turn.
Yeah.
Oh, he's stunned
Another
too. Or whoever's
wisdom-
gonna hit next. That's what I want. So
Another wisdom save for me.
Oh, hey, that's fucking sick. 22.
22. That'll
Well
break
done.
it.
Before my brain gets
So
involved.
so that's the end of your turn, but you are
Love
no
that.
longer stunned.
well
You're
done.
just blinded and restrained inside this creature.
Yeah, cool. Hell yeah, dude.
All right. It is Finnan's turn.
Callie can do it, so can I.
I roll with disadvantage. I rolled another fucking natural 20.
No.
So mad. That's a 17 total with
Not
a
enough.
natural 9.
Unfortunately, not enough.
Fuck's sake.
You are still.
no.
big draw.
All right.
So frustrating.
Callie,
You can make a wisdom save.
you can make a wisdom save.
Get it.
It's another natural one. I'm not kidding you.
Oh boy.
That's three
All right.
natural ones.
So you are still stunned. All right. Kale, you're up.
You're muted. Also,
You muted.
Edgar.
Also, Letters, on your turn, you can ask Clack if you want him to do something that's on your turn.
He can't hear me. I'm in a mouth.
That's true.
All right, I am going. You're going to see Kale close his eyes, And when he opens them, I'm going to cast Trance of Order on myself. You see little cogs appear.
Oh, get out of here.
around
That's too
here.
cool.
We
Fuck you,
love
dude.
that.
That's way cool.
That's my bonus action. How big is this room?
It's
For
about
space?
30 by 30. The worm is taking up most of one side, so you like really there's a lot less space now. It's probably
Okay,
about
okay.
20 by 30.
Question for you. If I was to cast a spell at the worm, would letters take damage on the inside?
I'm not sure.
Like if I set the worm on fire,
I'm not sure.
fuck
Guys,
it.
Petch do this all the time. Petch do this
Okay.
all the time.
I'm going to
Hit it. Just hit it with a big ol'
oh, that's way too much space.
It's marked, so whatever you're gonna do to it has double damage.
Yeah, I'm just gonna.
Big hit, big hit, big hit.
It says up to, so I'm gonna do less than, but it can. I'm gonna classic, knock the two hilts or coin across the edge of the blade, cast sparks. I'm gonna cast firestorm. It says up to 10 foot cubes, but I won't do quite that many because I don't want to burn everybody alive.
Yeah, there's
each
not a lot of space for these cubes.
Well, I'll do one then. One 10-foot cube towards the back of the worm to try not to get letters in the where I assume he is still in the throat.
Early
It must
gullet.
make a dexterity saving throw for me, please.
Okay. That is.
Actually, hold on. Before you tell me, I'm going to use some sorcerer points to heighten that, so that it is rolls at disadvantage.
Okay. That is a 7.
That is a failure. So. Sorry,
Good
everyone's
combat
turns went so fast with them not able to do anything.
Yeah,
It takes
speed
double
run
damage.
strat for D&D, just be stunned.
Double damage, right?
Double damage, yeah.
Yes.
Double damage.
So that would be 14d10.
No, roll 7d10 because
And then double it.
vulnerability doubles whatever
You
the
double
number
it, yeah.
is.
Yeah.
Okay, so 7 doubled.
7, double it, and
28
then add
times 2,
like 20% if you feel like
That is
it's been
56,
good service.
56
D6.
points of fire damage.
56 points of fire damage.
Big.
Nice.
Burning out this.
Big hit,
burning
big,
out
big
this
hit.
worm.
Yeah, you hear the worm just
Pretty cool.
scream in pain. All right.
I
Do
gotta go
I
get this.
see any fire?
You don't, but you feel some heat.
Ooh,
Does
Um,
it
feel
smell
the
delicious?
of somebody.
You know Finnan's gonna eat this.
of somebody. It definitely is a little toastier, but I mean the worm is fairly thick, so you do not take
How many
any damage
Cs do you think?
inside.
How many
pretty big
season
worm.
thick?
Is it
Oh, there's
two-
at
two-
least
two-
6.
Thick.
Oh,
Yeah.
this is 6C thick.
Yeah.
It's a thick worm.
Thick. All
3
right.
cc technically, 6c or 3 cc, either whatever.
I need 3 cc's of thick worm.
Stat. All right, we are back at the top of the order. It is the worm's turn. The letters inside, you take some damage. You
I
take.
bet I do.
Guys, it's scrunchy time. I gotta.
11 and 3 is 14 points of acid damage
I
and
got
10 points of poison damage.
Yeah, well,
Um,
that happened.
And then the worm is going to. How many can it? Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah, for sure. Can. I'm just trying to see.
Ooh. Reaction. I'm just going to absorb elements on that acid,
Sounds good.
which I think gives me an extra 5.
All right, it is going to attack. It's going to bite you, Finnan, on the ground first.
It has advantage.
Oh yes, yes it does. That is a 20.
Hits.
Oh, that's 39 to hit. Yeah.
Sorry, 39?
No. Yes. Yeah. No. A 31. Sorry. Math hard.
A
Me
39
dumb
just
owl.
hits me
Math
out of
hard.
existence. Yeah.
31.
Yeah, 31 absolutely.
Finnan's
hits.
not in this campaign
Oh,
anymore.
I
No.
did that so badly.
I'm going.
Uh,
Finnan's in one of the one shots that we're pre-recording now.
Absolutely. We like knocked you out of this Zoom call.
26 points of piercing damage.
This is so bad.
Painful.
And
I hate these wounds.
12 points of poison damage.
Not acid
You are-
though.
Not acid yet.
Nice.
You get acid when you inside.
Well, I'm going
Um,
inside because I can't succeed at the saving throw.
And you are also swallowed.
So that was
um,
38 in total, right?
Yes.
Swallowed friends.
And then it's going to attack you, Callie.
Jesus fucking Christ.
And that
Just
is
swallow everyone who's
a
stunned.
21 to hit.
No.
So it bites down, and you hear this kind of grinding on metal, but it does not seem to be able to get like purchased through your armor, and it hit part of your shield at a funny angle, and it kind of.
If I'm stunned, there's no advantage or anything, right? I'm stunned.
You're stunned. Yeah, no, you're stunned. It had advantage on the roll, but
Oh,
I
okay.
rolled poorly. So,
Okay.
Oh my god.
it did not manage to eat you yet, which is a first in this campaign, probably.
This
First
is a
time ever that
first.
someone else has been eaten and not Callie.
Yeah.
Fuck.
All right, and then it is going to, move backward 10 feet and move into the cave wall. It's going to start burrowing down into the corner of the cave wall. So it is now, you can see part of its body, but it is moving down into the ground. And it is now Neppy's turn.
Okay. Oh, guys. Oh my god. Okay. Yeah, it's time. So you
time.
watch as Neppy moves closer to I actually move closer to the worm because I want to get within 30 feet of everybody. That's including the people inside the worm.
I don't know that you'd be able to get within 30. You're not exactly sure where they are in the worm.
Okay. I'm using my best judgment to try and encompass everyone in a 30-foot radius from me.
Okay.
So 60-foot diameter circle, essentially, with myself at the center. And you are going to see Neppy take out just a small piece of fabric and move it within her fingers. And then this radiant light just erupts, encompassing this area as I cast for the first time my 8th level spell, Holy Aura. So divine light washes out from you and coalesces in a soft radiance. Creatures of my choice in that radius, when I cast this spell, shed dim light in a 5-foot radius and have advantage on all saving throws, and other creatures have disadvantage on attack rolls against them until the spell ends. In addition, if a fiend or undead, blah blah blah, the attacker must make a constitution saving throw or be blinded until the spell ends. So if I hit the worm at all, even if it can't see me, the radiance might blind it, is how I read that, but I'll let you make the judge of that.
Okay.
Sure.
It can't be blinded.
Oh,
Um,
right, because it has tremor sense, probably.
But you do. I will have letters roll me a D100, please.
Ooh, we'd love a D100. Am I aware that Finnan's in here with me? 97.
Not yet.
Whoa.
97. Okay, yes. So you are just encompassed by that. So you do start to faintly glow.
That is
inside of this creature.
Am I deeper in the worm than letters at this point then?
No, he ate letters first, so letters is deeper in the worm. That's why he.
Oh, of course, because it's turned. Yeah,
Yeah,
sorry.
it's
Yeah,
turned,
yeah,
yeah.
it's
I'm
turned,
already
yeah.
in the
That makes
small
sense.
intestine. You're just up
Yeah.
in the esophagus.
I'm up in the
We
mouth.
are not the same.
Yeah, its mouth is farther away because it turned.
Yeah.
All right.
In my brain, it was like,
I'll put the effects of Holy Aura in the chat for y'all. But letters, I think it's everyone. Clack would be in that too.
Yeah.
That you get advantage on all saving throws, and creatures have disadvantage on attack rolls against you. And I am concentrating.
Okay. All right. Letters.
Letters had all kinds of crazy ideas about how he was gonna get out of this one, but as he inexplicably starts glowing because he's never seen this spell cast before, he just goes, "I'll take it." And I assume glowing a dim aura of 5 feet allows me to see the thing that has swallowed me.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah.
Excellent.
I will say, yeah.
Then
Absolutely.
he'll wriggle a little flourish and cast Steel Wind Strike as he just sticks his horns into the thing. And whether he hits or no, he will appear within 5 feet of a target in an unoccupied space,
There
as
you go.
per the writing of the spell.
All right.
So I have.
Do you get to choose that space?
You know what? I don't know if it says that. You can then teleport to an an unoccupied space you can see within 5 feet. So that's not gonna work. I thought I was gonna be super clever. Then you know what? I'm just gonna go with what I was gonna do before because I think it's really fun. It can try swallowing me, but I'm gonna get stuck in its throat. I would like to take my whole turn to just wriggle so hard and cast Tensor's Transformation as I like wriggle all my muscles.
Get it.
And I'm just gonna get big inside this worm.
All right, you get fucking swollen there.
As I get 50 temporary hit
As
points.
you feel the like
sheer will.
You were already restrained, but you feel the muscles tighten around you as you embiggen yourself inside. You feel the whole thing like constrict down.
I'm not
on
enlarged. I'm still medium.
Yeah. But like as you're like,
you're just a little
muscles kind of
beefy.
tense.
I'm rearing up to do some
You
stuff.
feel the
inside this
reactionary
worm.
kind of tense, like the peristalsis
Hell
push
yeah.
against you.
I'm not in here with you. You're in here with me. That'll just be my turn.
Cool.
I'm
That's your
just transforming
All
inside
right.
the worm.
Benin, you're up.
Save it, baby. Do it.
not near Callie, so I'm only adding. This is a wisdom, right?
Wisdom save, yeah.
Yeah, so I'm only adding a 4 to this, so 7.
But advantage.
Oh, unfortunately,
Disadvantage,
you're
actually, because I am not in with range of the Holy Order aura, and I have 3 levels of exhaustion.
Oh, bummer.
Still at disadvantage.
you are still stunned, unfortunately.
Yep.
All right, Callie. Let's see if
I'm
you
gonna
break
try
this
and break
stun.
this. I'm gonna not use D&D Beyond because they've given me 3 natural ones in a row.
And you have advantage
Strive.
on this saving throw.
Very good. It's a natural 1.
And
And
A 2.
Damn, dude, you are still stunned.
no,
Wow.
we have to like cleanse your dice
All right.
and your D&D Beyond for some reason. Oh my gosh.
Gale, you're up.
Quick question, because always forget this. If I cast a spell, I can bonus action. I can cast like a cantrip, correct?
if you quicken it, yeah.
Okay. I am going to bonus action quicken firebolt.
Yep.
The cantrip, just hit him with that. So that is I'll just roll D&D Beyond. 25 to hit,
25 hits.
and that will be 22 points of fire damage.
Nice.
And then I will cast. I will say, you leave when I say you can leave, and I will cast Hold Monster, and I will use 3 sorcery points to heighten it so he rolls with a disadvantage.
Oh, buddy,
Nice.
yes.
All right.
So that is a wisdom save of 17 at disadvantage.
Wisdom save
How wise be the worm.
is that is only a 12.
That worm ain't wise though.
Yeah, so that worm has is paralyzed for a minute.
Well done.
At the end of each of its turns, the target can make another wisdom saving throw. On a success, the spell ends.
And on hold,
How does
if we hit it, does it break it out?
Doesn't say.
No, it doesn't break it.
No, it
It's
doesn't
the same
break
as
it.
hold person. How does heightened work on spells that do like further saves down the line?
I think they revert to regular.
Yeah, that makes
Yeah,
sense.
I think it's just
When
when
you
you cast it.
Yeah.
Uh,
And you can only heighten something once for that spell. So if I heighten it and it succeeds, I can't heighten it the next time.
really interesting.
Yeah.
So attack rolls against the creature have advantage, and any attack that hits the creature is a critical if the
Auto
attacker is
crits.
within 5 feet of the creature, and it has automatically failed strength and dex saves. Okay.
And there's my turn.
It is back to the worm's turn. It's going to try and.
I'm gonna take hella damage here.
Oh yeah. Let's do the damage up first. So the acid damage is 14 points of acid damage,
That's 28 for me.
Oh, that's right. You're vulnerable to
I'm
acid.
vulnerable to acid damage.
and 11 points of poison damage. That's to both you and Letters. Did you get that, Letters?
Yes, sir. 5 points of
39
poison
damage.
All right, let's see if he can break this.
No.
This will hold. On the end
No,
of its-
thank you.
That is an 18.
No, you read that wrong.
It's
Read
an
that
8,
wrong.
actually,
Sometimes
Tim.
6 looks like 8s look like 6s.
Oh,
That's a 16.
And just like as you watch as the worm like is held in place and then just like grinds against the stone and moves
I would
and breaks
ruined that worm.
the spell.
Is he gonna
So
use
would
his
I.
Is that the start of its turn or the end of its turn?
It's the end of its turn.
Oh, thank
End of its
fuck.
turn. So that's its turn.
Why is this a turn at least?
Neppy, you're up.
That fucking worm. All crits.
I can't. That I can see. Fuck. All of my healing is seeing. This is bad.
It's
Think
okay.
I'm done.
I'll just get the worm to eat me, and then I can touch Finnan and heal him.
Guys, it's okay. He's in here with the paladin.
They are moving down. They're like although that last round didn't move them because he was paralyzed, but
Yeah, no, I'm
There's
hoping it
also
just
this-
comes
You're
and
saying
gets
it-
me, and then I'll heal
It
it
might
from
be
inside the
easier
worm.
for us to go all the way through.
you don't know how
Like-
long this worm is.
Yeah.
Sometimes you
okay.
just gotta get pooped out by a worm, you know?
Okay.
Pretty sure I saw this on Magic School Bus.
Absolutely.
For sure. Saw
You guys
this
are,
on
the worm's
gum.
name is Ralphie. I mean,
it. Gross. Okay. I
We
am
have a new holster.
going to.
Am I old school?
It's gonna make a Constitution saving throw for me, please.
okay.
I'm assuming it's a Constitute worm, but that's okay.
It's a big worm.
That is a 31.
Okay. Yeah.
I think that fails.
I think
And
that
doesn't that fail? Isn't
absolutely.
yours
My spell save
save
DC is
90,000?
actually too high.
Yeah.
35. Okay, so I'm gonna, as I cat, you watch as even though it's got this very thick hide on it, black tendrils shoot out from Nappy as I cast harm on it. So I'm just gonna roll this with a dice roller because it's so many dice. Many dice. $14d6. That is going to be 62 points of damage, but that'll be halved.
So 31.
31. Yep, that is my turn.
Nice. All right, it is Letter's turn. You are still restrained, but no longer blinded. Because you
I
have,
would love to just try to force my way up this worm. I just want to fucking
gotta climb.
yeah.
Okay,
I think
I
I'm
mean-
strong enough that I can force my way up the esophagus.
Well, you're facing the wrong way. Like your feet, it ate you head first. So you're like your head is towards the butt.
Find the other way,
So-
bud.
Like you could try to like I don't even know that you could.
Wait, check. All right. Oh, I can't cast spells. Damn.
Why can't you cast spells?
Because I'm intense.
Oh, you're intenses. Yeah.
I've committed to this choice. My intention was to be so strong that I could just force my way down the neck.
This is a gargantuan worm. It is the peristalsis on this thing is pretty serious.
I want to go back.
To where we didn't have this worm
You could
anymore?
push farther down. You don't know what that would do.
All right. You know what, Tim? You're saying I can't just push my way back up this neck ass first? That's what you're saying?
I don't think you could.
All right.
Like a backwards bear crawl.
You can
Exactly.
certainly, you know what? I'll say this. You can certainly try. It will be very difficult.
All right, then you know what? Tell you what, here's what I'm gonna do. I'll take that offer and I'm gonna twist it. I can only go one way. I'm restrained. Can't really use items. Can't swing a hammer.
You can make an attack at disadvantage.
But we got horns, and I can't miss with these horns. I want to
You
grab
can.
onto flesh and just pull myself into it. I want to make attack rolls slowly and with intention.
It is still at disadvantage.
All right, fine.
But you can.
It's a thick worm.
Is a thick worm and also just like
This will be a straight
getting
roll. 'cause
yourself in
tensors,
position to
tensors
do
gives
that.
me advantage, so it
So
cancels
it's just
out.
a straight roll. So
Yeah.
exactly.
And this creature has this creature also the creature has disadvantage on attack rolls, Tim, just to let you know.
Yep.
Okay, cool.
Well, in that case, then I'll. No, it just doesn't make sense to be able to swing the hammer, even if it does, whatever with whatever. Fucking, it's that's gonna be 20 to hit. Fuck
That
you.
hits.
Fucking 14 to hit.
14 does not hit.
Not at squishy belly.
No, unfortunately not, as you're just not able to get your arms in a position to really launch yourself. So your horns just kind of slide against the inside. I mean, this thing is used to eating rocks and dirt and chewing through soil.
Well,
Yuck.
I am still fucking huge, so that'll do 27 points of piercing and force damage.
Okay, so yeah, you kind of hear that. You all hear the creature roar.
But I know it's too big. Strength saving throw to not get shoved. Can I shove it? Tim. I want to do Goring Rush to shove a piece of it and give myself
Goring
enough
Rush,
room.
I think you have to move.
Yeah, you have to move for.
No, that's
Goring
Goring Rush. These are hammering horns. I'm gonna
Oh,
hammering
hammering horns,
horn it
okay.
just to move its esophagus 5 feet, just for a second, so I can reorient myself.
Okay.
It still has to
Okay.
make a strength saving throw.
Okay.
But I think
Strength
that's
saving
fair.
throw.
That's clever.
Fucking Minotaur kid.
Tim's a cool DM.
That's only a 14.
Yeah, baby.
So you do manage to kind of like push against it, and there is this kind of like elastic nature as you sort of reorient. How would you like to reorient?
Can I
yourself?
can I tell you what happens?
Yeah.
I want
please.
to turn myself into a little tiny ball because I'm going this way, and I just go and like pivot my head this way, and then I just straighten like just so long, and then I'm just gonna squish in real tight and like go the other way, like just faster than the esophagus can close around me, and then I'm just gonna
so
fucking stick my arms and legs out as much as I can to just stop
Yeah.
I want to stop the flow so I can now engage my plan to crawl head first.
Yes.
I like
out
to
of this.
think with the extra esophageal space, Finn just drops right past. It's like
You do feel well with the strength of that attack. You feel like you hurt it, not quite enough to regurgitate you, but you feel like there is some like almost like you were close to the point of regurgitation or possibly
Okay.
regurgitation.
Okay.
But you do reorient yourself, and yeah, Finn, and you do move a little bit closer as that like peristalsis kind of boom. You can't quite see each other yet, but
I'm not aware of them, but
I'm
we'll
just-
come around on my next turn. We'll see what happens.
I also like to think that my goggles are like half off, so I'm blind. Like I'm just like,
you're stunned, so it's like all right, okay, amazing. Finnan.
Come on,
a
buddy.
natural 16 and a natural 17, so a dirty 20.
That is just enough.
Oh god.
DC is 20.
Where am I? Oh, fuck me.
So that's the end of your turn as you are no longer stunned.
Yes.
God is grace.
All right. Callie, you are up.
I'm gonna roll 2. That's a 4. And a fucking 6. So that's a plus 11.
All right.
17. Getting close. You're getting close now.
Okay.
Improv.
So I'm stunned still.
Dang. All right. Kale, you are up.
All right. Kale takes the coin, pulls it across the blade, and as the sparks come up, a fireball forms and shoots at him. 2 sorcery points to quicken, bonus action firebolt. That is a... Is that advantage? 19 to hit? Or 18? 18 to hit. 18 to hit.
Just hits.
Just hits.
Big one.
3d10.
Big
Ooh, that's bad. Ugh. 6 points of fire damage on 3d10.
Okay.
Ugh.
Yuck.
That's rough.
Very yuck.
Yucky.
And then as my action, burning another 3 sorcery points to heighten, Kale will say, fine, if you don't want to do it the easy way, we'll do it the hard way. And he's going to clang the swords together and the vibrations are going to go out, and I'm going to try to banish
All right. And this is
the worm.
Wisdom save?
It is a charisma save. Disadvantage, you're going for 17.
Are they?
That is a 17. I rolled a natural 20.
Is that disadvantage you rolled?
Yes, I rolled 2 natural 20s.
Okay, Tim, give me one of those natural 20s, please.
Thank you, Kesha. Mwah. Whew. Okay.
Also, even if it had a -4, it still would have succeeded because natural 20s are auto successes regardless of negatives.
She would have canceled. I just assumed she would have canceled the natural 20.
I can't.
Oh, I guess
cancel a natural
it's a
20
saving
'cause
throw. It's
a-
just an attack.
Yeah.
Okay,
Could I would have. I would have
You
though.
can cancel crits, but not.
Right.
Can't cancel
Um,
critical successes. I can only cancel critical hits. Guys, I can't do everything. Okay, I'm trying.
Oh god, I'm just too
All right.
stunned.
It is going to move down and come underneath you, Neppy, as it like burrows through.
Okay.
And it comes underneath, and it's going to attack you, Neppy, with its bite.
Okay.
It's going to attack twice,
Okay.
and those are disadvantaged because it's still got
They
the-
are.
All right, so that is a 17.
Absolutely not.
And the second one is a 19.
Not in Mama's house, baby. No, that doesn't hit.
Okay. So as it like kind of bites out at you, it doesn't seem to find purchase.
I should down with my
but
shield.
you folks inside take some
Yeah,
damage.
give me that acid damage.
So the acid first, that's 7 points of acid damage that
Oh,
time.
that's not that bad.
And then another 7 points of poison damage as well.
Only 21 points of damage this time?
Fuck, dude. And that's to both of you. All right, it is Neppy's turn.
I feel like the best thing that I can do right now is just mark it. So I'm gonna use my channel divinity again, and I am going to mark, gonna put Path to the Grave on it again, so that the next hit on it is a double damage.
All right. Letters.
As my,
Or, yeah, sorry.
that's like my action, and I can't see them. It's just. Okay, I can't see them. Yeah, so that is my action. That's it.
Don't do damage letters.
All right. It is now Letter's turn.
Letters is feeling
Spicy.
unable. Letters is like, I can crawl out of this thing, or I can make it puke. I think Letters is feeling confident about his ability to hit that thing at the back of its throat so hard that it does a spew. he's just gonna take 2 swings with his. He just kind of wants to keep kind of working his way up to the front
Dolphin kicking
in this
out.
sort of stabbing motion. 18 and a 22 with the horns.
And those both hit.
Woohoo!
The first attack does double damage.
Double damage. Ooh, and you know what I haven't done yet?
Oh yeah, roll the damage separately too for these two. Just so we can...
This will
It
be the first
overcomes
one.
all resistances and immunities, though. Too.
No, I know it's for the
Oh, gotcha.
puking
Sorry.
save.
Puking save. Gotcha. Gotcha.
Actually, no, you can roll it together. It's just on a single turn. So yeah.
So this is going to be 19, and then I'm gonna flex my brain. 26 is the original first damage.
52.
52 points of damage on the first hit, and then the second one. Ooh,
That's a
baby.
good chunk of damage.
Oh baby, oh baby boy, baby. 17 points on the second one of piercing and force.
Well
all
done.
jumbled up together.
Well done.
Right.
And then I'm gonna fucking stab it, and just try to swim out of its gut.
Okay. You try to swim out of its gut, but you like Finnan is there, and it gets to make a con save now to see if it is able to maintain you in its gullet.
Oh, but his big constitution.
Yeah, that's a 27. So as you try to pull up, you just feel it just like, it just like pulls down and swallows hard, and you stay in place.
But
Do not get
importantly,
puked up.
I'm next to Finnan.
Yeah, Finnan does kind of bump up against you.
Tight.
Oh, hey!
Yeah, this is very unpleasant. Oh, I got it in my mouth. I gotta stop
Friends who
talking.
squirm together, worm together.
It is now Finnan's turn.
So restrained, I'm gonna put my hands together like this and summon my sword. I'm gonna bonus action cast Spirit Shroud on myself first, so like darkness starts like leaking around me. If we weren't already in pitch black.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna make 2 attacks with disadvantage.
Oh, dude, I'm glowing.
Yeah, Letters is glowing.
Letters is glowing.
There's some nice holy radiance all over him.
This is going.
Would
Where am I actually?
Finnan be glowing now too?
I
would
was
he
when
be
I
when
cast
you
it.
in the
cast it?
original
I see.
cast.
Either God or you don't. I don't know what to say.
Sorry, I always forget.
This is great combat music, Tim.
8, 11. So that is a 22 to hit for the first one,
That hits.
This is great stunned music, Tim.
and a dirty. Oh no, that's disadvantage. Sorry, a 16 to hit for the second one.
The second one doesn't hit. The first one does.
Cool. I am going to pump a Eldritch Smite into it. So I'm about to do
Smites.
some damage because Spirit
Smite.
Shroud adds 2d8.
It do.
Smite adds 6d8. Is that? Sorry. New stuff. I apologize.
Who's on deck, Tim?
It is Callie next.
6d8. Actually, I'm just going to D&D on this one because there's a lot of d8s. 2d8 for Spirit Shroud. 6d8. 1d8 from this. I'm not raging, so this is plus.
What a build.
I have so much plus stuff.
And we got that from the heart.
It changes
know,
so
I
much
know.
stuff. Like, I can do so many different types of damage. 11. This is plus 11.
I'm just gonna let you know now. I rolled 2 d20s and I did not hit a 20. So
Holy shit! That is such a good roll. That is 68 points of damage.
On the
I
smite.
rolled. I want to see.
It doesn't
Oh,
let you.
It didn't show me. The first 3 numbers were 8, 8, 4, 8. Sorry, first 4. It was like
Nice.
not a lot of 8s up in there.
Well done.
Yeah, 68. Oh fuck.
Yeah, it doesn't work that if it's not 69, my guy.
yeah.
I quit D&D. I missed
know.
the mark.
Yeah,
I
fair
know.
enough.
Importantly, how do you want to do it?
Oh! Give it 1 hit point because I don't deserve that shit. I squeeze my hands together and I'm like, oh, and I summon the sword and it like cut straight through because it's like
Just
something
right
in
into
its
its brain.
Yeah, and I
Because
just,
of the positioning, it just
and then
brain
I
it.
carved down with like the force of the Eldritch Smite and split an opening for Letters and I to
Yeah.
pop out.
As this whole thing kind of deflates, it just like pushes you out of that hole. The two of you kind of emerge against the tunnel and roll out onto the ground.
I think
Wow.
this means we're twins.
Yeah. Like scraping acid, still burning me off. Like,
Are we out of initiative?
We are out of initiative.
We're gonna pop some healing into my sweet boys. We're gonna go. Let's do a 5th level cure wounds on Letters. I'll just roll that with my. No. We'll roll it for real. What's the point of having dice if you
Let's
can't
get
roll
rid
it for
of
real?
2 of these spell slots. Did I got something else this short rest? No.
No.
Spirit Shroud, and then I smit. I did a smit.
A Smith.
Smote.
Did one big smit.
Some smout. 1, 2, 3, 4. Where's my other D8? Gosh darn it! There it is.
Do you need D8s?
Yeah, I mean you can pass over some D8s if you want. I'm
Yeah,
gonna
I
heal
have
you with
some.
them Letters. So, thank you. Love the bit. Thank you. That's
Could
gonna be.
actually do it.
I know. I can't wait. I
Whoa,
can't
that's
wait.
trippy, Adam.
That's weird.
Oh, yeah, that's
Adam.
crazy.
Oh, that's cool. Are those your Finnan dice?
5. No. They should be.
Those are fun. That's 10. That's a good roll. That's 20. That's going to be 25 points of healing for you, my dear.
Letters is feeling good.
25?
For Letters.
For Letters, right.
For Letters. And I, Finnan, can I
What?
can I help?
Yeah, what? Sorry,
Oh.
I'm feeling a little I've
Oh,
not
that's gonna
had
be even
acid
better.
touch me since I ate that
15,
heart, and it
21,
fucking sucks. dude.
23. 28 points to Finnan.
We love that.
I'm here for your clerical needs.
Finn still looks very fucked up. I took
And
a lot of damage in that worm.
And then I'll pop 1 sec here as well.
Hey,
Hold
Slack,
on.
Just while
Yeah.
they're healing us up. If you were here with your partner, how do you think 2 Petch would deal with a worm like that?
We would have been a lot quieter with those stones.
Okay. Hence
Yeah, that's-
taking the time.
Yeah,
I'm learning.
15, 20.
I think that's maybe
Right,
what
so
alerted
those
it.
stones would have maybe taken a couple of dinners.
Yeah,
20.
Yeah, that makes sense.
I think that's why it takes so long.
That one particular section.
I mean, that's probably part of it. Yeah.
Cool.
Oh, I mean, I don't think we've gone that deep though.
I'm just gonna
So
lie.
I think
next to
there's still a ways to go, but
the dead worm.
I'm
And
sure
grab-
that bit takes a while.
I'm gonna grab a chunk that got hit with the fire.
Finnan, you get
Touching.
48.
You eat the worm?
The by the chunk that got firestormed.
I'm trying to heal you.
Do make a Constitution saving throw for me, please.
You
How-
get
how much-
40. You get 48
Hell yeah.
points of healing as I hurt myself to do it. Okay, so don't
love
fuck it up.
Be grateful.
I am grateful, but I'm also
Fuck
gonna
it
eat some of
up.
this worm. Finnan loves to eat
Make
stuff.
a con save for me, please.
Oh no.
Finnan loves eating things the
22.
way Letters loves reading
22. Yeah,
things.
it is.
Yeah, dangerously and like roulette.
Yeah, it tastes very much, very bitter, very, very bitter. Like it should not be eaten.
Bitter generally means bad. It means it's like poison. It's gonna hurt you.
Vodka and bitters is like an excellent drink.
Yeah, coffee's bitter, and I'm a big fan.
Yeah, bitter means delicious. I eat a partially cooked piece,
Disgrace, all of you.
and then I have a little lie down.
I finally come out of being stunned.
After a minute passes.
Yeah.
Shall we take a short rest at least and then push on a little bit more?
You know that like through that journey that took you about your whole day. Like this
That
was
was
kind
our
of
whole
at
day.
the end of your day.
Okay.
Well, we better all crawl inside the worm for warmth.
I like that. I can't though, because the acid will burn me very badly.
Technique. Oh, we'll get in the parts of it that we'll cut new holes that aren't connected to the acid.
Wouldn't it make sense that these worms probably know about each other? In here might be quite the safest place.
Do you think we've intimidated the worms?
No, I think they're just not going to.
That's what you're thinking.
I just think that they're not going to tread on another worm's territory. So if there is a worm here, the other worms likely know about it, even though it's not moving. They might think it's sleeping. I don't know. Do they sleep?
Neppy, you have like lots of candles, right?
Of course.
Could we make little earwax? Not earwax. Could we make little wax earplugs? Because like, Callie was out of that one, and Letters and I got eaten because of that big bad noise it made.
Right.
And I feel like if we can't hear that noise, it might. We're basically being silent down here anyway.
That's a good idea.
So maybe if we have something that block our ears, so if
if
a similar creature attacks us, we won't be so caught off guard.
Well, we've done it once before, and it worked against
the sirens.
Sirens, yes.
Yeah, and that captain of that ship is now evil.
I think she's a revenant now. Don't think she's much of a person anymore.
I love the friends we make in our travels.
You know, the real adventure is the friends you make along the way, right?
I mean, maybe we can get one of these worms to create like a blood vendetta against us. Like, who knows? Maybe we'll just.
This
be
worm
lucky.
definitely has children, and they've definitely vowed to find us.
Oh, these worms have so many children.
Yes,
you were
I
eating
did
some
take
of their children yesterday.
Absolutely. I did take.
Hate it here.
I did take some of their teeth and scales last time, and I turned them into, I think, a shield, armor. But if we're going to rest here, I'm going to try and take.
Children take their teeth. Now you're getting Scar style.
I'm going to try and take some of their. I'm going to take some parts, Tim.
Okay. You can kind of harvest. You can make a nature check.
Yes, please. Guidance as I do so. And I will past fit in some candles so he can start fashioning of the like hundreds of candles I carry with me at all times.
I start melting them down.
You have 200 pounds worth of candles
in the bag. Yeah.
No, just on your person.
On my person. It does say I carry a lot of candles in my bag.
Constantly weight training.
Nature check. Oh, I'm
a
good
suit
at
of
that.
candles.
That's gonna be a 19.
Okay. You managed to harvest some teeth, some scales, and you also managed to harvest an intact like venom sac from its mouth.
Ooh.
Wonderful.
In the order of fairness, I'm going to re-roll my Constitution saving throw because I do have a disadvantage because of exhaustion.
Yes.
That's another natural 18. It's a 22. I rolled the same number twice.
So I have some
roast
teeth,
food.
some scales, and a venom sac. What is this thing?
This is a type of Suffolk worm, but it's not. It's like a greater Suffolk worm, so it's
cool.
Suffolk worm? How do you spell that?
Suthaq.
Thanks. I just want to get the spelling right. I know that's important.
You're welcome.
Tim gives,
Thing
and for
about-
context, Tim gives me shit all the time because I don't spell things sometimes the way he spells things in the
spell
book.
things weird.
No, I don't.
The good thing about being stun level 5, I used no spell slots and I lost no hit points.
True. Yeah. Tried to bite you, but I couldn't.
When
Even
you
stunned,
when you take a long rest, do you restore all of your points of
One.
exhaustion? One.
Just
One.
one.
Okay, so I'm gonna go up to Finnan
Ah,
and I'll put my hand on him and I will cast Greater Restoration at 5th level.
Do you have diamonds to do so?
Oh, do I have diamonds to do so? That's a great question. Probably not. I do not.
as Kale
isn't it?
touches me and I wait for something to happen. Kale, this is getting a little like awkward. You good, buddy?
Yes. I'm sorry.
Want a high five or something? Because you're just touching my chest and we don't know each other that well. We've only been traveling together for a little bit, so
I thought I had the things I needed for a spell, but I don't. So
okay.
chest high five.
Yeah. chest high five, like a chest bump, but far
with
more
my hand in
strange.
your chest, yeah.
Yep. Yep.
Mm-hmm.
What do
This
you
was
need?
nice.
What do you need, Cal?
I was just going to try and take a point of, or try and, how do I say this in character? Make our friend less tired. He seems
Oh,
a little
I'm
fatigued.
fine. My eyes sunken in like skin gray. It's fine.
I just need about 100 gold worth of dragon dust, diamond dust.
I want dragon dust.
Dragon
Watch this
dust
snappy
sounds
pulls
cool. I
out.
like dragon
Just
dust.
dandruff. It's just dragon dandruff.
ew!
Yeah.
Don't make it weird, Tim.
Smart that shit,
Yeah.
man.
It's
I-
magical. I don't know.
I pull out 100 gold pieces worth of diamond dust. I put it in your hand.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Finnan, can I touch you again? You didn't just
I just to clarify,
this time.
it's not just to touch.
This time it's just to touch you. I mean, to cast the
Oh.
spell.
Yeah, I mean, go. Maybe we can high five this time.
Anyone else sensing a vibe?
Yes.
I will high
know.
five him and cast a 5th level Greater Restoration. But as we high five, I'm going to do that thing where you interlace the fingers.
Hot.
That is a vibe.
That's
Yep. Okay.
I-
We're
you know-
vibing.
I
have to do it for the
le-
spell.
I elbow letters and I go,
I
I
have
don't know
to.
much about dating, but that's a vibe. That's a vibe.
I have to do it for the spell. I'm
You
sorry.
speed ran dating.
I-
You dated
I-
one person and now you've got kids.
That's true. I mean,
You
I-
aced it. You're 1 for 1.
well,
You've got a 100% average.
I mean, to be fair, I never thought that I ever would
I know you're a natural. It's
be
wild.
with anyone. No, I think I found the one person for
Yeah.
me and said, yes, this is the person for me, and decided that I didn't need to try anything else. But had Kokanee not
It's like-
come along, I think I would have been quite fine.
It's like
without
any
it.
good casino. You win big right off the top, you're gonna get out of the game. You know what I mean?
Except I'm just like in that game. If we're talking like
No,
a
you took your
relationship or
winning
marriage,
And you
Right.
bought a house. Yeah,
I did.
look,
my children are at home.
you're doing
Yes.
the best. You're doing the
Does
best.
Greater
You're right.
Restoration heal 1 point of exhaustion?
Yes.
Just one, yeah.
And you'll sleep off one of the others.
Heck yeah.
We should rest here.
All right. I'll make room in the
Congrats.
worm. I crawl inside it and sort of
Crawl inside the worm.
I do not crawl inside
do
the
not.
worm.
I
do not
advise.
want
I
to say the word.
advise against letters. You're going to take acid damage from that.
You do feel sort of a hot drip on your shoulder.
All right, I can't
Because
commit to
you're
this.
kind of
Hot
like-
drip. Hot drip is my next band name. Called
And
it.
then as he comes out, where the acid is eating away some of the fur, I'll be like, oh, so you do bold.
Oh, what fur? You mean the fur under this fucking skin tight metal armor? I don't fucking think the acid's biting through that, baby.
You've got a spot back
Oh
here.
yeah, that's genetic.
It's canon. Letters has a little bald spot.
But it's on the back of his neck.
My
Real
baby has a
low.
little bald spot currently on the back of his head, and it's so funny. And that's all I can
Funny.
think about.
It's so funny. All right, so you take your rest here next to the carcass of the worm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Neppy's looking quite fine, so I will take first watch.
Well, I can take first watch again. I didn't get hurt, so.
All right,
I'll take the last watch.
make a perception check for me, please.
I'm gonna give myself guidance as I do so.
Do you have any levels of exhaustion?
I got a fucking natural 20.
Me?
I'm
I have.
pissed.
Oh, right. I roll this at disadvantage.
Importantly, Len, you have a level of exhaustion, so it is at disadvantage as well.
It is.
Yeah. No, Callie, you go to bed. You're tired. Let me take this one.
No, it's fine. I got a 21.
All right,
I
live
have
your
I
life.
have 2 levels of exhaustion, but I'll sleep off one, so it's okay.
All right.
Hold on one sec.
That's the best bit. Getting
With
eaten by the
guidance.
worm. My halved movement never came into it.
That
Never had to
is
worry about it.
going to be a 19
19. Okay.
with
so between the
disadvantage.
Oh my god, I got a higher perception than Mappy.
As you are sitting, you notice that the worm is emitting a pretty powerful stench that is like, it's pretty cloying as you're sitting there, and you feel the ground rumbling beneath you, and you hear a kind of roar in the distance. And you watch as the worm carcass kind of like shifts sort of violently as you hear a roar. And that's where we're going to end it tonight.
Fuck everything.
Oh my god.
They're dead.
Ah,
Everything eats everything in Scar.
God damn it, Tim.
Damn.
Damn it. Wow. Thank you to everyone who is out watching us tonight, all 40 of you out there in the Gravelverse. Hope you are taking good care of yourselves. And I know this is, I think, American Thanksgiving weekend. Is that correct? Yes.
Yeah.
We had our Thanksgiving a month ago. Encouraging you folks to give thanks also, and look into and give donations to reputable and local Indigenous organizations to honor the land on which you live, as well as the people who were there long before settlers came as well. A really great way to figure out which land you live on is landback.ca. So please, or I believe it might be landback.org. Please
Native
go.
land or no?
Or is it native land?
No, it's not that.
Sorry, it's
What is
native
it?
land. That's correct. But they also, so nativeland.ca. So please go take a look.
Native
at
dash land.
Native-land. Thank you, Tim. Dot
Thanks so
.ca.
much.
We are back next Saturday, same great time, same great channel, here with another episode of our main campaign. You can catch all the rest of our episodes on YouTube. And Sean.
And what are we doing Sunday, Ann?
Nothing next Sunday.
Oh,
Wait, no,
fuck.
I'm wrong.
You're
Something
absolutely
next Sunday. Yeah.
Yes. Next
Not
Sunday.
tomorrow.
Not
Fuck,
tomorrow.
it's a week away. God damn it.
It's a week away.
Over the next week, everyone here at Blackwater will be furiously getting the rest of our stream drive together. We're all gonna prop each other up, Adam particularly, and we're gonna make sure that we get this thing
He is
ready.
going to have 4 levels of
Of
exhaustion.
exhaustion. Let's
Before
take
he might get all 6, he'll just die.
Well, no, I'll get the last 2 during the subathon and die on air.
Well, that's the thing.
entertainment. That's entertainment.
That's what we're- yeah, we're
If you
having
look
that out.
Content.
at if you hit exclamation mark goals, the last goal we're looking for are 1,000 gold pieces worth of diamonds, so that we can revivify Adam.
Yeah.
only
once
300 to revivify Adam.
Oh, only
so,
well, if
yeah.
I catch him in the first minute, but like odds are it's gonna happen at like 4 a.m. So like
Right,
as
right.
long as we
Resurrection
get
for sure.
1,000 gold pieces
Ray's
worth
dead.
of diamonds within 10 days of Adam
we will
dying.
be able to bring
Can I
Adam back.
can I pitch you guys
Due to
an idea?
exhaustion.
Can I pitch you an idea for the subathon live?
Yeah, absolutely.
Every
Adam.
night at midnight, Adam performs one of the songs from Inside's Bo Burnham's Inside, and as the progresses, he matches the level that Bo's at as it progresses.
I feel like he has to do that at 2 a.m. because I
So-
know
yeah.
generally our scheduling is that there will be a one shot bridging the midnight gap. But at 2 a.m., Adam's going to start playing Baldur's Gate
Yeah.
every night and starting as Finnan. So that'll be a treat for all of you. He's going to
Oh,
spend the first
goodness.
evening probably meticulously building Finnan in Baldur's Gate. And then
See, I was like, I wonder how close I can get it. And I like looked at the stuff. It's gonna take me 5 minutes because I know all of the settings now. I'm like,
no, but you got to
"Damn."
drag it. And you got to make sure his outfit is on point too. So
I can't do that. I have to go find his outfit in the world
It's
of Baldur's
Dungeons
Gate.
and Dragons.
That's your first
baby.
quest. That's your first
Yeah.
quest.
Right.
Getting that
Get
drip.
this aesthetic.
Get your drip. Thank you all so much. And be well out there because you never know when a giant worm might come and try and bite your friends. So
Be safe.
we love you guys. Good night.
Bye.
Bye.